Hello everyone and welcome to episode 16 of Disco Elysium. Just taking a quick look through to make sure that everything looks like it's working okay, and it looks good so far. So, where we last left off, we had made a really big advancement in the case, where after probably about 13 episodes of trying to do so, we made our way into the harbor district. We encountered some new evidence and got a chance to talk with the big union boss, Everett. I don't remember his last name right now, but upon having a conversation with him, we learned that he is either misrepresenting what he knows about the case or knows significantly less than we do. Regardless, he has agreed to assign Measurehead, the racist guy who was guarding the entrance into the harbor district for so long, to assist us with getting the body down out of the tree. And if Measurehead follows through on what he's supposed to do, that will hopefully give us access to some autopsy information. We'll be able to get the boots off of the corpse, which is one of our storyline or a sort of optional quest to get a good set of armor. I mostly wanted it for the experience. I am hoping not to get into any sort of fight with anybody, and hopefully from there get sufficient experience that we can jimmy open the frozen freezer down in the basement of the failed commercial building. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I'm hoping is going to open up from that. So with that quick recap, let's go ahead and hit continue. And I think that we actually ended inside the union boss's, yes, office. So this is exactly where we are, and he has apparently left, which is fine. And now we will leave as well, I think. There we go. And we can't go back there, right? That's it? I don't know at what point he got up and left. Ooh, hold on. Wait. Something forgotten on the coffee table, it says. What? This coffee table? There's coffees on this table, as far as I can see. What does that mean? Oh boy, we are immediately starting off with me feeling confused about what I have just been told. That's the exit. That's not a coffee table. Look, something forgotten on the coffee table. This is his desk. I think that must be vestigial. Let's take a quick look at this. So, Everett had asked us to get 2 signatures from the... Are we calling them slums? The old fishing village? We probably should go with the old fishing village. Get Isabel and Lillian in the nameless fishing village down the coast to sign Everett's document. Once the signatures are secured, mail the document to Everett's accountant using the mailbox on the plaza in front of the Whirling. Now, I don't know that we're going to do that, because that seems like it's going to be kicking people out of their homes or repurposing the land for some big thing that Everett wants to do, and I do not particularly like or trust him, so I don't know why I would want to do that. The special borscht, now this is an interesting one. What's so special about the borscht that the strikers are eating? The cook in the Whirling and Rags is making it. You can find him in the kitchen. Look into it. Now, look into it is probably going to be the operative verb there, because we can't talk to him about it. He doesn't appear to speak any language that my character speaks. And then ask Renee about the photo. This is... Yeah, we found a photograph up in the night watchman's booth. The one with a happy couple. Ask Renee about it. He looked uncharacteristically happy in the picture. We're also looking for Ruby. Oh, that's right. We wanted to climb the ladder. That was another thing that I forgot to touch on. And we can actually try that right now. And for some reason, I have an extra try at that interfacing. So we're going to do that as well. And then what, if anything, is it trying to show me here? Yes, I do have a speed bottle. Thank you for pointing it out. Okay. Well, that's, so with that quick, browse through the journal, I think that we are good and ready to head out. To, $19 or so. Almost 20. Very glad we found free lodgings after... Or, like, basically at the earliest possible time. So I'm gonna see if this guy has anything to say. Lucky the Leprechaun, or whatever his name is.
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And lots of folk really did keep coming back.
I have some questions for you. See, I don't want to... He is either lonely or just sort of naturally chatty. I don't want to step on that. I don't... You know, I could cut him off if I want to click on one of these things. I had some questions for you, if that's not too much trouble.
No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all.
Okay. There was actually nothing in there that we had not already asked about. So, with that, there was... hold on, there's some cash here that... I don't think that was there before. I think that's a new discovery. Also, I put my bag back in my hand just in case there's any tear here that we can pick up for recycling. Alright, so there's our crane controls. Was there anything else that we wanted to check out here? Because here's the thing. It is now too late for me to do the other thing that I had planned, which was to ditch Kim at the, Yeah, we'll never get it done, I don't think. Let's... I don't know. We could, maybe. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw down a quick save, because the time doesn't always move unless you're talking to people. So, I'm just going to see if we can maybe get out of here. So, here's the thought process. I would like to pretend to go to bed. Then Kim goes to bed. Then I go back to the Whirling in Rags and talk to Klaasje while Kim is not around. But I'm gonna put down that save because if the timing on this doesn't work out, because the game is a little bit unpredictable with how the clock hands move. Yeah, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to see if Klaasje is still on the roof. Because we look down there, 2253, it hasn't moved at all. And I think that she's around until 2300. Yep, there she is. Okay, so I'm going to stop moving here for a second. I still do not know what sometimes enables me to fast travel and other times doesn't. It is completely arbitrary from what I can see so far. Nonetheless, since the time is not moving, and I always go the wrong way that first try, let's go down here. If it rolls past 2300 when we talk to Kim to say, oh, I'm really tired, I'm gonna go to sleep now. Hey, Kim, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Definitely don't look behind you as you walk off to your evening time. If it rolls past 2300, I think that we'll be screwed, and then I'll reload that save. But I will say this. So far, I have still never reloaded past a failed check, even when I really, really wanted to do it, and
It's getting cold.
Yep.
This late in the night. Time to call it a day.
Good night, Kim. Send him away for the night.
Good night, officer. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
Okay, I didn't actually want to enter the shack, but this is fine. That took 1 minute, according to the clock. Okay, we might still be able to do this. Dot, dot, dot. Come on. Okay. Well, we ran all the way from the harbor district to the fishing village in under a minute. I'm going to hope that we can make it all the way back to the Whirling in Rags. I could also be wrong about her turning in at 2300. I could be misremembering that. What I was going to say is the element that I like about the fact that there's been no reloads. Okay, how the hell do I get back across? Here it is. It is here. The element that I like about the fact that there's been no reloads past failed checks or anything like that, like we've always been rolling with it, is that it really does establish and underscore a sense of, not urgency, but stakes. There's real stakes attached to this because I just don't reload past things that don't go the way that I wanted. And we've gotten a chance to see how the game folds and adapts and unpacks in accordance with these changes. Yeah, see, I didn't get the cool disco lights when I did my karaoke. I really thought that would be attached. Okay, let's see if we can get up there. Now, assuming that I can make it there, there's going to be a very quick assessment over what I'm wearing, because I want to make sure that our mind stuff is up as high as possible. I'd love to get my psyche up, but I don't think that this conversation, to me, is worth taking any speed. Although, we could try to climb the ladder. I don't know if I wanted to do this way. Okay, we made it. Wow, I did not think this was going to work. So, before we chat with her, really get up in her space, I am wearing Esprit de Corps and Visual Calculus. I don't think those are really going to help me in a conversation with her, so why don't we swap it out for an Empathy coat? I've got a lot of drama. Well, I've got +2 drama, but it's also naturally fairly high. If I put a point into Physical Instrument and Shivers, is that going to help me at all? I don't think it will. I think Shivers is mostly like streetwise in Dungeons and Dragons. It's sort of like decoding the vibe of the street. So I don't think it's all that helpful. I definitely don't want to lose a point of suggestion here. Drama and electrochemistry. This goes on over the shirt, though. So that would replace my empathy coat. Right. And the shoes that I'm wearing, what are they about? Inland Empire and Volition. No, I like my drama, especially when talking to her. +1 empathy, -1 logic. We might need logic when we talk to her, though. Do some, Oh, wait, what am I wearing, though? +1 visual calculus, -1 drama. I don't think those are going to help me, and I don't think visual calculus is what I need right here. I don't think savoir-faire. I feel like that's more dexterity and agility-based stuff. No, I don't want to lose a point of rhetoric, though. And I definitely don't want to lose that. So I could go with this. +2 logic, though? No. Do I want anything for glasses? I guess that's what I should focus on. Logic, but -1 authority. Savoir-faire, but -1 calculus. I don't want to sacrifice any perception for her. 1 empathy, -1 logic. And that gives me +2 logic, so I'm still up if I do this. Is that better? No, I probably want to keep it like that. Okay, and then the only other thing that I was thinking about is that I don't think Physical Instrument is what I wanted, but Shivers? No, probably not. Alright, I feel like this is the best outfit that I'm liable to have for this. Oh, the only other thing was the shoes. That's right. These shoes give me a point of empathy, and if I wear the boots, I'll get a point of perception in this place. My empathy is +2. Okay, maybe I will do this. Let's put on the empathy glasses, but then the perception boots. Wait, that seems worse all the way around. That's all the way to get me 1... No. Okay, we're back where we were. That's better all the way around. Perception's -1, though. Oh, I hate it. Okay, we're just gonna go with this. Alright, F5 it. And, let's have a chat.
I was just thinking, what a nice evening it is for taking part in a murder investigation.
She looks around. Okay. She looks around, and then she said for taking part in a murder investigation. So I almost would want Kim around for this part of the conversation. Number 8 here is what we're actually here to talk to her about. Now that Kim isn't here, let's talk about Sunday night. The topic here is she's the one person that we know that was a direct eyewitness to the evening that Harry here lost his memory, and that's why I wanted to talk to her about it.
Ah, yes. The night before I saw you in the hallway and reminded you you're a police officer.
It's one of the first things that I remember doing in Elysium. Before you, it was only the room, the sound of the motor vehicle, steam in the bathroom, and darkness. That's much more poetic. I kind of like it. Well, no. Let's start with that's the conversation with you is one of the first things I remember doing in the Elysium. In Elysium.
Wow. Elysium. You don't hear that term often.
She's a glib girl, but she liked the wording.
Did you hear something Sunday night from my room?
There was the usual ruckus. Loud disco music.
Did I have any visitors?
I can't say. Probably not. Sounded like you were flying solo.
And you mentioned the loud disco music.
Oh, yes. Various artists. Ostentatious orchestrations prime among them.
She arches her eyebrow, waiting for it to connect with you.
Oh, that? Yeah. Whoa. The less said about OO, the better.
Oh, were huge where I come from. I was very young then, of course, like 7. Life gets hard, but we go on.
Then, doesn't life get hard because we go on?
So rhetoric has unlocked this for me. Maybe we should stop going on then. Doesn't going on cause the getting harder part? Well, I guess rhetoric finds that interesting dialogue choice, so let's go with it.
I think you might have come to the same conclusion last night. At around 2 o'clock, the disco stopped, and there was a change of pace.
Sorry, everybody, hold on just a moment. Sorry about that. I forgot to mention earlier, we're up against a little bit of a soft stop because we are waiting for a phone call for some relatives that are coming into town. It'll be a relatively short thing, but that'll be happening later in the day. So whenever it happens, there might be a little bit of an interruption as we just shore up those plans. Okay, I think you might have come to the same conclusion last night. Around 2 o'clock, the disco stopped and there was a change of pace. So I'm going to ask what happened.
A slow, sad song started playing. Like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while. Some of that time you were yelling along to it.
What was I singing? Was I singing this? Show her the empty case of the smaller church in San Sens. Yeah, let's ask that. It's more specific.
Yes, there was a church in there. A really small church. Like the smallest, saddest church in the whole world. It was about that. And also that it doesn't matter anymore, and that we're alone now. It was difficult to tell. The song itself was very quiet and soft, but you sounded like a wounded boar, sir. It was hard to understand what you were singing on top of it.
I mean, of all the things that I did that night, I think that singing in my room to myself loudly and poorly is the thing that I would be the least sorry for. My character was clearly going through something. When you say wounded, do you mean that in a cool way like a wild beast? Oh, the answer is so clearly no that I think I run the risk of taking a morale hit, but...
Yes, it was very cool.
It's impossible to say whether she's being sarcastic or really means it.
I feel like I can say. But then what happened?
Then you started screaming and trashed the place.
That is so me. What did I do?
A window was smashed. The tape player, probably. The song stopped. And furniture, too. A real destructathon. There was screaming. Then I think you passed out.
It prides me to hear this. Tell me there was more. I don't feel proud of that, though. Was there anything else? It's the most neutral thing here.
There was. I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I may have misheard, but it was sort of memorable. I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then. Around 4 or 5. And that was it.
I don't know why I wouldn't thank her, assuming that... Now, Klasia has lied on a few different occasions. Oh, hello to Force! Screams as she comes into chat to evoke a startling effect that a sound alert purchase would do. Well, I can hear exactly the one, Force, that you have in mind. I can hear it in my head because we do hear that in Mia's. But welcome! I hope that you're having a nice Wednesday so far.
No problem, sir.
Okay, now. Oh, I got a new skill point. Very exciting, and we're definitely not going to spend it yet. So, do I want to ask her about the buoy without Kim here? I don't think so, because Kim tends to pick up on things that my character doesn't, and I would be concerned about that. This is not a pressing matter. We are going to return to this later. Okay. Before we turn in, is there anything else at all that we wanted to do with Kim incommunicado? Go to Measurehead on the gates and ask him to get the body down. Should I do that today? Is there any possibility he's going to say, oh, I'll have it done in one day? Because that does happen from time to time, and I do feel like I can have that demand made because that's coming from his boss. Getting the body down, armor pieces. After doing the autopsy, so we gotta wait on that. Spring is eternal. Do that. Can't 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 do that. Get yourself organized. Oh, attend Stebbins meeting after 2200. I forgot about this. Yeah. It's after 2200. It's actually 2300. Maybe we can make it there. Yeah, Forrest, I don't know what your schedule's like, if you get time off at any point during the week, or if it's very...
Two
Oops.
neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman having sex. A ray of backward motion explodes from his mouth. It is possible that it came from B prime, the boardwalk, B double prime, Land's End, or B triple prime, the islet.
So, looking up here, I believe that B double prime is the only one that we've seen. So, looking at the little diagram up here, I did not click on this to bring this up, but, like, that's the church, right? Why can't I get here? I mean, maybe I have to go further out to the west, further than I've been? I have felt frustrated that I cannot find where that is, because we did go to B double prime. At least I think that's the one that we went to.
You can't know for sure until you investigate those locations. The lieutenant would probably agree that, in this situation, it's best to be thorough.
Alright, I had actually meant to go down here. Yeah, if anybody watching this has not yet followed Centrifugal Force, I do recommend that you do so. She has been off Monday and Friday, so Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are the busy times for Force. Probably by necessity means fewer streams, but she has been streaming more frequently now that she's hit the 50 follower threshold and is right on the cusp of making affiliate status. So I hope that people will throw her a follow, tune in when she's live. Twitch can be a little bit odd. Okay, we can't talk to the chef, by the way, about the borscht. Twitch can be a little bit odd sometimes in how it calculates that 3-follower average to reach affiliate status, so the more people that we can have tuning in, the better. Force says, and today, because I need to be working on my graduate school letter of intent. Well, hopefully we can provide some good background sound for that. So I want to go to the meeting, and the meeting is over here. I don't remember the room, but we do know the passphrase to get in to the meeting. It's After Death Life. I think that's the name of it. Yeah, without ever having written one myself, in my head, a graduate school letter of intent would be a clear presentation on what you intend to do with your time in graduate school, any, which I assume for you are numerous, academic accomplishments that you've had so far. It feels to me a little bit like one of those, I detest job hunting. I really, really dislike the process. And one of the reasons that I dislike it, and I feel like it has a lot in common with trying to get into school or graduate school or things like that, is you really have to feel comfortable talking yourself up, which does not come naturally for me. I feel like I very much believe that the more that you learn in life, the more you realize that you don't know, and it makes me deeply uncomfortable to be in a job situation or a school situation where you have to, like, you necessarily have to say, look at me and all the cool stuff I know and can do. And yeah, Force says neither for me. Yeah, it's not a comfortable space.
Give me a moment.
Do you know anything about a secret meeting?
What?
Say about
If it
2200.
ain't my business, I think we'd all be better off if people kept...
Okay. Well, my memory is that there's like a little doodle. Yeah, right here.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says number 11.
Tool not in hand. I mean, I could do that, but the room that I'm looking for, maybe I should knock.
This door has been... No reply. No reply. No reply.
Okay. I just thought that we might try it. We're looking for a room where we need a password to get in, so I might come back for this a little bit later, although I'll certainly have the tool in hand. Force is noting about walking around directly asking people about a secret meeting. It does violate the first rule of Fight Club, or in this case, Communist Club. Oh wait, here's something I didn't see before. Waves crashing in the darkness. Got it. Well, that was an experience point, so I'll take that. So we've got exit, and we've got balcony. So let's head up to the balcony. This is the same reason that I had so much difficulty finding drugs, because my character would just go up to people and say, "Excuse me, please, do you have drugs?" No, I'm not trying to arrest you. I actually want the drugs. Where are you going?
As you approach the metal grille, you can hear several voices having what appears to be an animated discussion. This must be it. Beyond this door lies the beating heart of radical communism in Martinez. Somehow, the night air softens the smell of trash and sea brine. As the breeze pulls through the canvas like a shuttle through a loom, you catch a hint of something unexpected, something earthy, warm, and burnt. The acrid smell of failure. No, that's just slightly burnt coffee, a smell you would recognize anywhere.
Just look at this pig, sniffing about after hours.
I'm not gonna... curfew. Get the hell out of here, curfew. Why didn't you say the secret door was right behind you?
Must have slipped my mind. You know how it goes.
She gives you a lackadaisical shrug.
The metal grill is cool to the touch.
Well, this might get me into trouble if they see me lurking around here, but let me just try to hear what they're talking about. Oh, balls. Do I have, I didn't take any negative perceptions, did I? Wait. Let me leave for a second. I'm going to put on my perception boots. And I definitely don't want a -1 perception. I'm going to put on these glasses for the savoir-faire boost. Empathy and logic. Oh, do I want +1 suggestion? Although +1 empathy is pretty good, but +1 suggestion and -1 half-light. Remind me, half-light, what is that? Threaten people. Oh, I don't feel like I'm going to be very good at that. I think I'm going to be more likely to want the point of suggestion. Wow, that is a... This is a fashion statement. Okay, and... No. No, I definitely want drama. Empathy and lot. Savoir-faire. And -1 visual calculus. Yeah, I just don't see visual calculus as being that important coming into this room. All right. So I have my perception boots on. And I don't have any negatives in perception at all. Why not? Hold on a second. I should have... Oh, this gives me a -1 perception. No. Different hat. Let's go with... Oh, I don't want that one. I don't want that one. Maybe just take the hat off while I'm listening at the door. I might just take the hat off. Yeah, let's just take that off for a second. Now I'm up to +1 perception. All right.
You can hear, animate, you can make out at least 2 separate voices. 2 voices, both male, approximately early 20s.
Careful with those now. I have it. It's going to work. I can feel it.
Is that it?
You can make out 2 voices.
Careful with those. I have it.
Okay, well, in that case, the perception thing didn't work out in my favor. Let me put on that weird hat. Oh, derp? I really wanted to have those on the whole time. Okay, and +1 suggestion. What was my other option? Empathy, drama, this commander's jacket, which is esprit de corps or visual calculus, or this one. The +1 shivers might work well for me. I'm gonna just stick with this. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. All right. Dress for success.
Voices coming from the other side of the grill.
So Forrest is saying this guy, meaning the narrator, I suspect, sounds like Kratos suddenly. Yeah, imagine my surprise, Forrest, when I found out that Kratos, at least in the new game, was voiced by... Oh, dear. Oh, no. I just lost it. Isn't it Christopher somebody? But he played Teal'c in Stargate SG-1. And I just didn't hear that in him at all. But yeah, I very much enjoyed his performance. And now I don't know if he was always Kratos or if that was only in the most recent one. I feel like he was always Kratos. I didn't ever look it up. Forrest is also saying every time it says visual calculus, all I can think of is Zach Galifianakis' character being drunk off his ass at the 21 tables and counting cards. Is that at the 21 tables? Which Zach Galifianakis production is this? I don't recognize it by description. Oh, in The Hangover. I don't think I've ever seen The Hangover.
The clang of metal reverberates all along the scaffolding. The voices coming from the other side fall silent.
Who's there? Is that you, Maurice?
Just say the password. Why isn't the password one of these options? And it's not Maurice. And I'm not going to say it's the police. Oh, shit. So my only 2 options are threatening them, lying to them, or basically being Trent. So, are you all communists? I'm looking for some communists.
Who said communist? Did we say communist? Get out of here.
Listen, I've already built like 0.0001% of communism, but now I need to get organized. Can you help me?
For a moment, silence.
What's the passphrase?
Wait, fucking what? Wait. Afterlife death is the passphrase for the computer person. This is remember Dobreva and Abanaziaz, because that's what we were told. Boy, thank God if that other thing had been on here, I would have clicked on it without thinking about it. Yeah, this is the one.
There's no response. You begin to wonder whether they've slipped out some back way.
All right. The key's taped to the back of the door frame. Just make sure you put it back when you're done, or we'll all be locked out.
Okay, I probably need to actually do this. Tape to the back of the door frame, make sure you put it back.
And do watch the concrete. It just kind of falls away, in places.
Have fun at your underground meeting, pig. Hope it's a blast.
All right. Forcing, that's probably why it wasn't on there. Yeah, the game saved me by not having the wrong thing on there.
Either oblivious to or ignoring your entrance. Their attentions are fixed on whatever it is they're stacking in the middle of the floor.
It's like dominoes, but they're too large.
Matchboxes, it appears.
I think it's holding, Alexis.
It is. It's holding.
It's definitely not holding. Those matchboxes are stacked so haphazardly, it's like they want them to collapse.
And immediately, just like, yeah, we got a perception in here, which is nice, but just right away, visual calculus is important.
Careful, careful. Damn, hardly any difference.
The young man shakes his head and then looks up at you with barely concealed irritation.
You're late.
You should know the meeting starts at 10 p.m. sharp.
His companion looks up at you and squints.
One leader and one follower. The most ancient power dynamic.
Yeah, it dates back to a very long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Don't let them see you flustered, sire. Play along.
Okay, so drama is good, but that must mean that I might need, volition. That's what sort of, or no, maybe it's composure. I forget which. Play along, it said. So my apologies, comrades. I had to be sure I wasn't being tailed by our class enemies. The young man considers you for a moment.
We all have to take precautions, especially during these delicate times. What matters is that you've made it, and that you've done the reading.
Shit. Okay. No one said anything about reading. You'll just have to wing this one. Yeah, fuck it. Like, the fakery there might have been impossible, but let's just wing it.
You have. Excellent. Let's hear your critique then.
I thought the themes were interesting.
They always say that when they haven't done the reading. Well, this is getting awkward. I'm not sure what you're expecting to find here then.
There's profound consternation in his voice. You suspect it's about something bigger than your not having done the reading.
I would just like to note that I made no adjustments to the music volume in this scene.
Maybe he can explain himself.
Let's go with what were you guys doing with the matchboxes?
The young man frowns at the little pile of boxes on the floor.
Nothing, just messing around until the meeting started.
They're watching those matchboxes awfully intently. The two guys who are just messing around. It's almost as though they were trying to create the most unstable structure they could.
With predictable results. All right, what exactly were you guys doing here?
In the most generous sense, I would say we're cultivating revolutionary consciousness.
Yes, that's probably the best way to describe it.
But more specifically, we are running a reading group. The most rigorous and theoretically advanced materialist reading group in Martinaise.
Comrade Steban is a great discussion leader. One of the best at the university.
Lots of things not being read here. It's obvious they take this group of theirs extremely seriously. Whatever you do, don't compare it to a common book club. I would not like anybody that walked into my social group, including just of me and one other person, and wanted to engage in theory combat. Let's go with this. Sounds like a place for intense intellectual engagement, exactly my kind of jam. That sounds more collegial.
That's our whole thing. The world is so shallow, all noise and repetition. We're interested in genuinely radical critique.
Precisely. We are not interested in senseless parroting. We like to read critically.
Within the contours of Mazovian historical materialism, of course.
I didn't realize they taught radical Mazovian theory in the universities.
Huh. As though you can call that problem teaching.
One thing you learn quickly at university is that you're not going to find a real education in any lecture hall or discussion seminar.
We are post-attendance, basically.
Exactly. The only worthwhile part of the so-called École Normale de Recherche is the library. That's where we've made our greatest critical strides.
Okay, this doesn't call it a book club, so I think it's okay to ask, what does your reading group actually read?
We study all the foundational texts of Masovian theory, of course. Just last week we finished the second volume of Puncher and Watman's Innocence of Capital.
Truly extraordinary.
And before that we spent 6 weeks on State and Plasm.
Uh-oh. You can feel your attention span rapidly deteriorating.
Shit. I'm gonna force myself to keep listening and understand that I think this is gonna cost me a morale point.
We've also read Wertmüller's The Megastructure of History, and before that, Real and Reality.
Communist theorists love puns, in case that wasn't obvious.
Hablars une pain infernale.
Oh, hello to Drienne, who is lurking, who probably did not hear this, but thank you very much for the lurk.
The original Fizdale translation, not that watered-down revisionist garbage.
These two deserve the Order of Honor for bullshitting. There's no way they've actually read all this stuff.
Obviously.
He snorts.
But, of course, our special emphasis is on the theories of Ignace Nilsson and his followers, especially the inframaterialists.
And who are they?
You're not familiar with them? It's pretty advanced stuff. You may not be ready for it yet, Gendarme.
The two men exchange skeptical side glances. I gotta say, I don't know what gendarme means, but I actually kind of like it when the characters in the game call me that. The smoker on the balcony also calls Harry gendarme. It's way better than Puss Peepers, which was the moniker that one of the characters in The Witcher 3 gave my character. I did not enjoy my character being called Puss Peepers. Anyway, who's this Ignace Nilsson guy?
Only Krasmazov's most trusted lieutenant, the evangelist of the revolution, and the founding father of the People's Republic of Samara.
So Drienne did hear the greeting. So yeah, Drienne, if nothing else, I hope that you're having a great Wednesday. And I keep having to pause to remember what day of the week it is, just because it's been an unusually structured week. Okay,
It's hard to overstate how unimpressed he is that you've never heard of this world historical individual.
You guys, I'm getting the shit kicked out of me with all of these knowledge checks.
He also happens to be the greatest communist theorist after Mazov himself. It was Nilsson who first postulated the existence of ideological plasm, which forms the basis of inframaterialist theory.
The young man sighs. His companion looks about furtively.
Yeah, I'm really failing all these checks. Like, I could reload and, like, have sufficient encyclopedia to get that, but that's not the way that we've been rolling at any point here. Did the reading group have anything to do with the lynching? Clearly not. Where's the rest of the group? Which seems like this is it. I'm just saying that, like, it's not like they're lightly intended. This is the whole group.
What do you mean? This is the reading group.
So there's just the two of you.
We're in something of a rebuilding phase.
Some of our former comrades didn't have the ideological fortitude our work demands.
So Drienne is clarifying, in French-speaking companies, a gendarme is an armed law enforcement officer. So it is not a term of affection. I just like the way that it sounds. What happened to your former comrades?
Intellectual attrition is maybe the best way to describe it. Felix said he couldn't keep up with the reading on top of his classwork. And Susanna wanted to read text other than Masovian theory. Like novels, if you can believe it.
Imagine the audacity of wanting to read a novel in a reading group.
I'm gonna, again, play along with him. Novels, man. Tisk tisk.
See? Even the gendarme gets it.
We've tried recruiting new members, but unfortunately the current intellectual climate is pretty hostile to inframaterialist thought. These days, if you're on the left, the ascendant schools are the Gottwaldians and their iconoclasts.
Don't forget about Maurice and the turnips.
Right. Then there was the whole turnip debacle.
Whatever this turnip business is about, one thing is perfectly clear. These young students have a much deeper understanding of communism than you do. You could learn a thing or two from them. If you can convince them you're one of them.
All right, let's go down the list, I guess. Well, they just mentioned the turnips, so let's ask about that. Did you say something about turnips?
It's an unfortunate story. You see, our ex-comrade Maurice is something of an economist.
He's studying macro and microeconomics.
Right. So a few weeks ago, we were discussing the extra physical capabilities of the revolutionary state. And Maurice said, what were his exact words, Ulex's?
It was unbelievable. He said, turnips don't care if they are grown by communists, moralists, or Vulcan. They grow just the same.
Basically, he was rejecting the whole foundation of inframaterialist theory.
What is this inframaterialist business they keep blathering on about? You've never heard of anything like it. And that was a successful logic thing, so... or should I just go along with it? No, I'm gonna ask. Remind me about this inframaterialist stuff.
Simply that under suitably revolutionary conditions, crop yields naturally increase relative to non-revolutionary crops, which Morris somehow has the gall to deny.
Susanna said that he has been hanging out with some non-communists lately.
For us, the question boiled down to, if you don't even accept the basic ideas of Nielsen and inframaterialist theory, why are you in the rating group?
This seems awfully reductive. It was not an argument about turnips, it was an argument about crop yields. So, again, I kind of want to play along with these guys. I totally understand.
Of course you do. It's pretty basic stuff.
And now we have to say this.
Well, it wasn't so much that he was expelled.
He just quit coming. We haven't seen him around for weeks.
All right, so now that we've covered the turnips topic, let's ask what's so bad about the Gottwaldians.
They're the most depressing school of communism. They love writing long books with a patina of Mazovian theory to cover up their cheap psychologizing.
A gang of cheap psychologists and intellectual midgets. Typical Gottwalders, in other words.
It's okay for Uli to say that, because his dad is from Gottwald.
Sure. I promise not to take offense on behalf of the Gottwalders. Well, let's go with what's so depressing about their theories.
The Gottwald school believe that intellectuals as a class are capable of sparking revolutionary change. So all they can do is critique capitalism from inside itself.
In other words, they have lost faith in their own relevance.
That's why they spend all their time smoking cigarettes and writing long works of criticism that make you want to commit suicide.
My character does like to smoke cigarettes. I don't know how he feels about writing. He is very intellectual. I'm gonna go with that sounds miserable.
It is miserable. That's probably why they're always committing suicide. You see, the Gottwald school look like communists. They talk like communists. But scratch the patina and you'll see beneath that they're just depressed liberals who've read too many books.
Okay, but what about the iconoclasts?
For starters, they love talking about beans.
Beans?
That's right. Iconoclasts are obsessed with beans. They love thinking about beans. They love counting beans. But most of all, they love building models to predict how many beans there'll be in the future.
Nota bene, iconoclast is an extra pejorative form of the already pejorative name, Mazovian economists, a moderate school of Mazovianism which advocates the gradual transition to communism through carefully managed economic modernization rather than violent social revolution.
They're by far the most bean-centric school of communism.
Ah yes, the much maligned bean counters, ensconced in their think tanks and high-rises, believing they can save the world through a series of incremental, assiduously technocratic reforms.
I will ask if the beans are a metaphor. The other thing on here is what's wrong with making progress through moderate economic reforms, but we're at a communist meeting. I don't feel like that's going to be a popular question for them.
If only. They've got all the beans accounted for in their asset sheets, their quarterly budgets, their future projections. But for some reason, there are never enough beans to go around. So we've just got to cut our bean rations in half.
And next thing you know, there are budget cuts, so now we've got to cut the bean rations in half again. You see, iconoclasts claim to be communists, but in reality they're just liberals with hard-ons for spreadsheets.
I'm not sure how I feel about walking into this. Hello to Mia. Oh, Mia. You're here just in time for the conversation about Disco Elysium communism. I feel like if I walked into a social group of any kind and the first thing that I heard them doing was describing how their faction of whatever the group is better or preferable to all of these other factions that are filled with losers and people who don't get it, I would immediately say, oh, this is already way too factional for me. I don't know anything, like I don't even know what they're here about. All I know is that now they disagree with others that believe in slight variations of the same thing. I will see you all later. And then I would go someplace and drink, I don't know, juice made from lawn clippings or something. Like, way better than what this is about. All right. What about the liberals? Are they liberals too?
Of course not. The only people who actually call themselves liberals are mouth-foaming reactionaries.
Basically indistinguishable from fascists. You'd need an X-ray machine to tell the difference.
It is true. The difference between a liberal and a fascist is all in the bone structure. Okay, is Cindy part of the group?
Cindy is... how to describe her role?
Something of an ideological auxiliary, perhaps.
Yes, that's exactly how I would put it. And naturally, we support her radical counter-liberal aesthetics.
But she refuses to submit an essay, so we can't call her a member of the group per se.
That doesn't stop her from using the room for studio space, of course.
Yeah, is this Cindy's loft? I kind of thought that that's what was up here, but maybe it was just locked before. All right, I've heard enough. Let's talk about something else.
Go ahead.
I'm going to ask if it had anything to do with the lynching. Clearly not.
Lynching? No. We're not an operational cell.
We think of ourselves as more of an intellectual vanguard.
Is your reading group affiliated with the Union in any way?
No, we're an independent organization. We acknowledge and respect the Union's efforts, but our interests are more theoretical than Mr. Clare's.
He speaks the truth.
Okay, and how do you guys feel about lynchings?
Our stance? What? Do you want to know if the SRV has established a party line on the lynchings in Martinez?
The two young men look at one another.
Though historically speaking, the SRV has supported direct action against right-wing paramilitary squads, especially when they are doing the Indo-Tribe's dirty work.
Good point. So as a provisional matter, I can say we support it.
Are they being sarcastic?
Balls.
You feel like you're caught in some elaborate joke labyrinth, but it's impossible to see your way through. It's always that way. Beneath the crust of irony, there's a molten sincerity that threatens to erupt forth. You may witness it yet.
How do you feel about crime?
That's easy. Crime is simply the inevitable expression of the injustice and incoherence embedded within capitalism itself.
Delivered with the smug assurance of a schoolboy reciting a maxim he's committed to memory.
It's a symptom, in other words, not a cause.
He waves his hand as though this is all there is to say on the subject of crime. So, it's an inevitable expression of injustice and incoherence embedded within capitalism. So if, like, a banker runs a Ponzi scheme that rips off a bunch of other wealthy investors and then makes off with the money, is that also injustice and incoherence embedded within capitalism? I guess this guy would argue yes, but I feel like anyway, I feel like the expression is usually more about, like, people wouldn't do crime if they had legitimate avenues to get the things that they actually need. And although I feel like crime would be significantly lower if it weren't fueled by desperation and voicelessness, I feel like there are certain people just operating within any economic stratum that are just out to hurt others. They just don't view any benefit to treating others with kindness or respect. And if they can screw somebody else over to get even marginally ahead, they'll do it. I've seen enough of that to say immorality and hurtfulness is an element of the human condition, not for everyone, but for enough of a percentage that they're always going to be out there.
His companion can barely suppress a yawn.
All right. Are there any operational communists in Martinez?
No, unfortunately. The communards were hunted down and killed nearly to a man. All that's left of them are bones and old rifles.
Like this one?
His companion's eyes widen as you hold up the ancient weapon.
This is the third time I've been able to show off this gun. I'm glad I didn't pawn it.
Yes, like that one. I wonder how many of these are still lying around in cellars or sealed up behind the masonry.
He knits his brows together and then looks up.
Can I hold it?
Sure.
It's heavier than I was expecting.
The rifle rests in his open palms. Its position reminds you of something.
Though what, exactly, you can't say. He turns the rifle over again, admiring the glint of light off the oily barrel.
Pretty sure it's a non-functional gun. It's certainly not loaded, regardless.
When he's finished, he returns the rifle to you with a nod of appreciation.
Oh, hey, got 5 experience points. Yeah, I turned it over to him because A, it's not my gun, B, it doesn't fire, C, I mean, it means something to him. I got 5 XP out of it. I'm good with that. Okay, is this reading group accepting new members?
We typically only accept new members once per semester. There's this whole process with essays and presentations on assigned topics.
The young man turns to his companion.
But given that we have some extra seating at the moment, I guess we could be convinced to expedite an application or two.
Stefan, you can't be serious. For gendarme?
I am serious. As materialists, we've got to adapt to conditions as they are. Besides, he'll still need to pass the interview portion of the entrance process.
He turns back to you. I'm going to need to be dressed way differently. Apparently I need more savoir-faire, more logic, and more encyclopedia.
Assuming he's even still interested, that is.
Oh, dude, I am the most communist dude in the whole world, apparently. So, that's not great, but I can retry it. Is there even a point in doing this, though? 3%? Yes, I have failed in 90. I'm not going to even try this. It seems ridiculous. That's enough for tonight. Will you still be around if I have more questions?
Sure. We're here most every night. Maybe we'll catch you again.
Sleep well, gendarme.
Oh, so much stuff to look at now. Before we go, can I get my composure up in any way? Also, this blue coat, I don't think we had a single suggestion roll, although I could be wrong. Let's put on that jacket. And what was I going to ask? Composure? What do you need for composure? Do they have like a Snuggie that I can wear? I feel very composed in a Snuggie. Some sort of a weighted compassion blanket. No. Shivers. No, I definitely don't want to lose the 2 points of physical instrument. Yeah, I see no outfit at all. Nothing at all that has a point of, sorry, what's the phrase I'm thinking of? That has a point of composure. Try not to think about the cracks spidering out across the floor. A rickety easel surrounded by pots of gouache? Gauche? Cindy's, no doubt. This one says, no war but class war. This poster reads, under the cobblestones, communism. Big exclamation point. Coffee. And, yeah, there is something else here. I'm going to F5 before I touch their... There's like a safety vest like you'd wear. Reflective construction vest. +1 endurance, -1 reaction speed. Alright, well, if I need to endure something, I'll have that on hand. So, I don't think there's anything else for me to talk to him about. Let's just click on the clothing so I don't still get notifications that it's in here. And join the reading group. I didn't get any information from him on how to do that, so let me ask him real quick.
The gendarme returns. What do you need?
Oh, that's what the role is. Convince them. I was looking at the percentage, but not actually reading what it was. It's very low. We did also learn something about the art supplies. I'm guessing these pots of gouache belong to Cindy. Mia, do you know what gouache is? If you're still here, I'm just curious if that's a thing that people know.
Yeah, it's hers. She just sort of moved it all in a few months ago.
She said if she's going to make truly radical art, she needs a suitably radical workspace.
And I don't think she could afford rent at an actual studio.
This is a very simplistic question, but do you like her art?
Oh, sure. It's definitely interesting, I would say.
I thought interesting was what people said when they don't have anything real to add.
His companion's eyes widen with interest. He has a cold smile.
If this is what the Union Man meant by theory combat, you've just scored a decisive blow.
Come on. It's not that I don't have anything to say about Cindy's art. It's more that I'm still working out the details. It's a complex question. You've got to take your time with it.
You flustered the poor boy. Now he's got to say something.
I guess you could call her latest stuff a sort of counter-bourgeoisie calligraphy. She's got a real taste for radical slogans.
It's too bad she hasn't developed the theoretical foundation to do truly radical work.
I think she'll get there, though. She's still looking for a subject equal to her ambitions.
So now I'm wondering, what is the deal with this place?
The deal? At a fundamental level, I guess you could call it the shattered bones of a dream crushed by capital.
A feeble and hopelessly mixed metaphor.
That's really good, Steban. You should save that for an essay.
Sorry, I like that Logic was immediately dismissive of the metaphor, and Echo Maker is so impressed.
Thanks, Uli. When the idea is sound, the words just sort of flow.
Yes, now keep developing the idea.
So, Mia says that chivalry, her husband-boyfriend thingy, says it's a word. It's used to prep canvases, and it's pronounced gosh, like squash. Oh, gouache. Okay, gouache is the correction. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's a mixed metaphor. Shattered bones of a dream crushed by capital is definitely a mixed metaphor.
Leave it to the gendarme to enforce bourgeois stylistic values.
Besides, he's just a first draft.
All right, let's move on.
Go ahead.
Oh, I thought I would have gotten like a little bonus for having shamed him in rhetorical combat, but no such luck. All right, I'm gonna just walk around slightly, but I cannot possibly imagine that we are ever going to be allowed to join the book club. That is a very high composure skill that it requires, and of all the points that I'm likely to spend, I just don't see a lot of them going into composure. All right, let's talk with Cindy, just in case there's anything of interest to say to her. Now that we've been to the meeting.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to a...
Nothing at all. And I think that's it for this in-game day. I should go talk to Isabel and Lillian, but they're going to be in bed by now. We can't talk about that. Can't talk about that. No, no, no. Well, I mean, maybe, but apparently due west. We'll just save that for tomorrow. All right, I'm going to go to sleep then. I'm not the only person that needs to go downstairs, it turns out. I could try the hawthorn tree again. Where's that? Hawthorn tree. Yeah, Kim doesn't need to be there for that. Oh, even the sweeper lady is turned in for the night. Nope, nope, nope. So we went to the communist meeting. Have you guys ever seen the episode of the King of the Hill where Bobby Hill joined the Wizard Club? And, oops. They all, sorry, I'm hitting the wrong button repeatedly. That's what I was looking for. Bobby Hill basically met up with a bunch of warlocks that drank from a sacred chalice and wiggled their fingers at each other and had all of these grand plans for what they were going to do with their with the infinite power of magic that they definitely had, but it was just them sort of like hanging out in a field and maybe around a fire, thinking about like all the hexes that they would cast on people once the universe granted them all the power. It's kind of the vibe I'm getting from that communist meeting. Oh, Mia's definitely seen it. Okay, so this is an interface check, and as always, what we're finding in the world of Disco Elysium is we want to have the absolute best interfacing that we can think of having, and I already have +2 interfacing on the gloves, so that +1 gloves, that is ineffective. Put those shoes back on. Remind me to put on the encyclopedia glasses if we're going to go chat with those fellows again. Composure and savoir-faire. Oh, wait, I could put these on and get a little bit of composure. It's only 1 point, so it's going to be like an 8% success rate. Nope, I got nothing. And I'm going to take off these glasses because I like having the +1 visual calculus. Now, sorry, as always, let me just make sure that I'm not, like, negative interfacing in any way. No, that's the whole thing. So the only other thing that I could do is take some speed. Do I want to take speed before I try this? Let me see what the percentage chance is.
The gnarled hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane. A wintry breeze blows by, making the magnetic tape flutter.
So, the thing is, tomorrow I'm likely to take some speed that's going to give me a little bit of extra motoristics, and I think that'll get that up into the 90% thing. So I'm going to actually wait. Because one thing that we need to do tomorrow, son of a bitch, one thing we're going to do tomorrow is... What on earth is the rest of that sentence? One thing we're going to do tomorrow is try to make it inside the Feld, the Feld electrical building. And when we do that, we're going to take some speed to get the motoristics boost to be able to go up here? Yes. Climb the ladder with a little bit more success. All right. Yeah, according to the little diagram, the boardwalk is like back here. I'll wait until morning on that. Is there anything else that we want to do today? The only other thing I can imagine is going to see what the percentage is on the ladder climbing, because that will inform whether or not we want to take speed. I think that he's going to take speed to do it. I failed it the last time that I tried. Let me just take a quick look at this.
The rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. The distances between the remain. In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. Not to mention, what if you were to do something? What if you were to reconceptualize climbing the ladder?
Oh, I can't even see what it is without Kim here. Okay, well, fair enough. And I can't go back here. And I don't really want to interact with the traps or anything, at least not today. I already did that part. All right, let's go to bed. Yeah, and then we'll be into, what is that, Friday? Like, we started on Monday, I think. Day 5 should be Friday. And Friday should be very, there should be a lot of things that happen. You get the body down, hopefully get the boots that night.
It's getting cold this late in the night.
Wait, I want to talk to her about the union guy who wants to build the thing here.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait until I have Kim here to talk about the signature. There's no reason to try to pressure her at night, and I want to see what Kim has to say about it.
It's getting cold. This late.
Okay, now I don't think that I can shave. Let me look.
On the table, you see a bowl of water.
Nope. And we already obliterated the expression, so that's done. All right. I'm going to throw down an actual save just in case something goes super weird. But yeah, let's turn in. And my character has very, very weird dreams at night, so I guess we'll find out what this is going to happen.
Comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest.
Go to sleep.
The bed underneath you is soft, if lumpy. Waves wash the sand underneath the hut, then grow distant to your ear. In the quiet hum of the organic heater, you fall asleep.
Like a deftly cast fishing net, sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes, tightening around you, it digs into your brain.
Dark shore my ass. I know what this is.
How have things been going for you out there? Helped anyone lately? Saved anyone lately? Murdered anyone lately?
This bastard isn't even listening to you.
Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer who offs poor people and then forgets about it.
Well, if that was true, and I have no reason to believe that it is, it would scare me. So, all right, let's indulge ancient reptilian brain. All right, so I'm a murderer, and that's bad.
Hear that? He doesn't even flinch. Iceman doesn't care about killing people. That's nothing to him. Blackwater, under the bridge. The thing he's really scared of is much, much worse than that.
All right, what's that?
Don't tell him, sister. It's too bad.
Why are you doing this? I just want to sleep. I can almost see the dark.
We're trying to help you. All these processes, these tortures, voices and tremors are all just distractions, flares and countermeasures to keep you from the last dream. The worst of them all.
The last dream?
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage. We won't be there to help you anymore, Harry. We will be dormant. You will be naked and alone.
And the air will smell of apricots, which is a reference to the apricot gum that he associates with his ex-wife, I believe.
Of hell. An ancient sadness, brother. 10,000 years later, in front of the video rental, there is a warm breath on your face again. Everything is okay again.
Everything is so okay.
That doesn't sound so okay.
Your eyelids flutter open for a moment. When you close them again, you sense the light of the room around you. You're back. In 2 seconds, the alarm will ring.
The last thought in your head before waking is, maybe you shouldn't have seen that stained glass window in the church.
There's an episode of Black Mirror, the British sort of Twilight Zone-y horror show, that really delves deep into the idea of failed A lot of them do, but sort of like failed relationships, and it's like the second or third episode, and I think about it really frequently. Okay, new day. Let's F5 it. Day 5. I want to see if I can shave. Don't think I can.
On the table, you see a bowl of water.
Okay. And nothing else here. What happens if you click on the bed while it's like morning time?
The bed is comforting.
No time to rest. All right, let's head out. Kim should be here, and then we're going to talk to that lady about signing away her property rights. Yeah, I don't want to describe the episode in too much detail. I feel like what I've said is horribly vague for anybody that might want to see it. But if anybody hasn't seen Black Mirror, it is both... it is so well put together for what it aims to do. And... Kim? Kim, you look different today. Hello? That's concerning to me. Kim, if I go in here, will you come with me? I really want to see Kim. Okay, he doesn't come with me into the thing. Maybe he'll be there when we load back into the world. Here's what I'm concerned about. Bug. I don't want Invisible Kim for the whole rest of the game. There he is! Thank God. Alright. Back in the saddle. Now, let's talk with her. I'm not really inclined to get changed at all. I guess I could do that. Yeah, I'm just gonna wear what I'm wearing. I don't think that I want her to sign this.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night.
I was asked to get your signature.
What can I help? Eh? What's this about? Come now. I can't read all this scribble. Tell me what it says.
She takes out the documents and squints her eyes. So my options are: Everett wants to turn part of the village into a little youth center. It's a real estate deal, nothing ominous. Actually, never mind, I won't bother you with this. No, let's be direct. I will tell her what I was told about this. Everett wants to turn part of the village into a little youth center.
Huh. I might be half blind, but it looks like part of the village is gonna be a street. The best part. The part we need to get out of our houses. Have you asked Lillian about this? I won't even consider signing till I know she's on board.
She hands the envelope back. All right, so we got to go talk to Lillian first. That works for me. I am not interested in chasing these people out of their homes or ruining the vibe of their neighborhood for something, for a project by somebody that I do not trust.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer?
Okay, I was asked to get your signature. Hand her the envelope.
Are you? This says by signing, I agree to living with construction noise. What exactly is the Union building?
Everard claims to want to turn part of the village into a youth center. I don't get to say the claims part.
What a nice idea. Wouldn't have thought that...
Her voice trails off.
She sounds incredulous about the niceness of the idea.
Thought what exactly?
That Everard and the Union have nice plans for anything. I thought they only cared about themselves. Well, I guess Union members have children too.
And those members have a vote when electing the head of the local chapter.
So Rhetoric thinks that he wants to do this in order to solidify his own power with Union members who have kids. Shit. Like, I don't want to do this, but... No, fuck it. I don't want to do this. Don't sign the papers.
Aye, if you say so. Probably better that way. I mean, who likes construction noise?
So we're going to hold this one open because apparently we can go ask her to sign the documents later on, but the whole thing just feels super shady. I think I made this comparison in the last episode, but I don't really envision my character as being somebody who worked on behalf of the crooked real estate developers in the movie Batteries Not Included, you know? I am still not going to point out my motor carriage to her. All right, see you later. Now, we've got a lot of stuff that we can do, and I want to start with the things that I think might trigger a period in time that we have to wait. So, since I can't fast travel for some freaking weird reason, I think, what's the deal with the fast travel system is one of the very few questions that have come up that Elf Planitor, one of the members of our chat, didn't know, like, what's up with it, because I believe, according to Elf Planitor, that was added after the point that he had played it. That was patched in later.
The trap is full of locusts. Poor thing.
Yeah, still no Phasmid. All right, I'm going to keep checking the traps every once in a while. I don't know if I'm supposed to check them every day or whatever, but I didn't memorize where each of them was. Okay, let's talk, since we're right here, let's actually talk to Renee first about... Renee's not here.
Officer, care to play a game with the lonely old man?
The jolliness is gone from Gaston's face.
Actually, never mind. Wouldn't be the same.
Where's Renee?
The prick is gone. I can barely believe it. But he's really gone.
Gone where?
Hell, most likely. He was an absolute cunt.
Jesus. How did he die?
His hungry little heart finally gave out. The dock workers found him in the guard booth this morning. Wasn't even supposed to be working for another week, but he just had to prove how tough he is. Guess he was about to head home, 'cause when the dock workers found him, he was wearing civilian clothes and not the Kuketu uniform I saw him in all the time. Sometimes I thought he was wearing it just to piss me off. Now the joke's on him, 'cause he's gonna be buried without it.
You know, I'm like a murder detective guy. I kind of feel like I'd have some more questions than this. Was Renee really that bad?
I repeat, an absolute cunt. Even his old army buddies didn't want him around. He was like an old viper. The only people who could stand to be around him were Jenny and me. She saw something in him when we were just kids, and she never lost sight of it. And I thought if the most beautiful being in the world can love him, then there must be something worth holding on to.
I'm going to ask you if he loved him, but I don't mean that in a romantic way, which doesn't feel particularly implied by anything that we just heard, but rather like as a friend.
We've hated each other our entire lives. So much, in fact, that...
He falls silent and looks at you, eyes filling up with tears.
Yes, I loved that angry prick. He didn't deserve it, but I did. You know what his last words to me were?
So we've got a lot of options here that seem borderline sarcastic, so I'm going to go with just tell me.
In Guillaume's time, you'd have been shot without trial. That's what he said to me. He lived a cunt, and he died a cunt. Let's leave it at that.
The old man gathers himself and wipes his eyes again. I can give him the photograph. Now, there was something between the two of them revolving around a young woman, but I don't remember enough of the details to know what it was. So I don't know if giving him this photograph is going to be hurtful. I'm going to do it. I'm concerned that this is actually going to be a real negative. It's going to hurt him and remind him of, like, the woman that he didn't get to be with. I don't know. We're going to go with this.
Let me see. This was 60 years ago. We all went to that parade. Young René looked so happy, and Jenny...
Eyes blurry with tears, he has to stop.
I'm sorry, officer. I just... Thank you. Thank you for this little memorabilia. It really means the world to me.
That was nice. A small thing for us, but invaluable to him. He probably didn't even know René had the photo.
Okay, well, that did work out. I was concerned that, like, the picture of René with the young woman was going to remind him of all the negative things that happened between them over this love situation. I'm not even trying to call it a love triangle, because I don't even know where Jenny fell in the whole thing, like what her thoughts were. It just felt like there was some sort of rivalry going on between the two of them. I offer my sincere condolences.
Yes, we are both very sorry for your loss.
It is what it is. Part of life, really. But to know someone for 79 years, then one day they're just gone. I just don't know anymore. About anything, really. But you must need something.
Okay. Let's ask about the Maybell flowers. Because I think I tried to ask and I failed the roll, but maybe Gaston knows something about them. So just to bring us up to speed, this is the flower that Clausia found. No, I found up on the roof next to where Clausia was. It seems unusual for this flower that is out of season to have been up on the roof where we believe the murder shot was actually taken.
René wasn't really what you'd call a botanist, officer. And believe me, he didn't like Insulindian lilies. That's their old name, dating back to the time of kings and crests, and all that other stuff he loved so much.
Why didn't he like them?
There were many reasons, but mostly it was the communals. They called them the Bells of Revolution.
A sad smile passes his face.
I guess in the end, the Insulindian lilies were just another piece of the whole Insulinde. The royalists had to surrender to the Mazovian insurgents. It doesn't really matter anymore.
Okay, I want to go over a few things about René. I'm not sure if there is anything more to go over. He was a tertiary character at best.
Yes. What about René?
Okay, that's it then.
Yes.
He finds comfort in the thought.
We all got to go sometime, officer. Everyone
I
love is already there. Probably waiting for me. I'm not afraid to die. It's been a good run, and I really miss my friends.
I did not. It wasn't until we were getting different dialogue that I saw that I said to him, "Old people die, you better get ready too." I would never say something like that to someone. It's not quite worth reloading, but I would know. That's awful.
We are both very sorry for your loss. Death of a friend is a terrible thing.
It is what it is. Part of life. I just don't know anymore. About anything.
Okay, yeah, that's not worth going through the entire conversation again, but yikes. You gotta do a better job of reading what I click on. So, yeah, I want to go talk to Measurehead, specifically. I feel like, no, I want to call What's-Her-Face on the radio and say, give me information about the armor, damn it.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I? Still no word, I'm afraid, sir. I know it must be frustrating. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
So, it's been like 3 days. This is clearly waiting on some additional plot development, so my next best guess is that I need to get the boots off the body and or do the autopsy before I'm going to get back an answer on this. So I'm done with the radio for now.
In the cabin, you see...
Actually, I'm going to go look at one other thing because it is right here. I am going to go down into the basement and I'm going to see if that idiotic freezer has thawed out at all. tools, and we're going to put the multi-tool in the hand.
This orange machine is dead still.
Nope.
It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner.
The ice around it is slowly melting because it's above freezing. However, in 3 days, it has not melted sufficiently to be able to get it open. And the only answer is to dump a point into physical instrument, which may well be where I spend the 1 point that we have. Because by God, I want to get that open. That freezer feels like it is the origin point of so many other quests. Alright, yeah, we're gonna go upstairs and talk to Measurehead. I'm sort of afraid that Measurehead's gonna be like, yes, I will help you, but it will take me 1 full day to go get a stepladder.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Everett told you to help us get the body down from the tree.
So it was. You surmounted the harbor wall in a display of athletic prowess to reach my superior. Then had him give me an order. I salute your cunning, and I will remove the body from the tree with my bare hands.
You're so noble, Measurehead.
There's a but.
But while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. Both of you.
That would mean you're openly showing the people that you're taking the Union's side.
I am comfortable with that. However, doesn't that mean... let's point that out and have a talk about it.
Yes. That is precisely what it means, homunculus. This is not going to happen any other way.
So I'm gonna ask Kim if he has any other days. I gotta say, I'm just letting everybody know, perfectly comfortable throwing my weight behind the Union in this labor dispute. However, Lieutenant, what if we don't want to do that?
This is the uncomfortable result of not taking it on ourselves. I can live with a compromise.
Listen to your little friend. He is wise in his childlike way. His mysterious race may yet prove fierce competition to my heroic haplogroup.
Alright, we'll wait here.
Babe, see that they stay here the whole time.
The first thing I'm going to do is walk over to this crate that's been flashing the whole time, like I can go in there and find out what's in there.
The woman's gaze follows Measurehead as he leaves.
So, you guys are like cops or something?
Let's answer a question with a question. Why are you with Measurehead?
Look at him. His craniometric perfection. Are you cops or what?
Yes. No, we're just trying to keep things from going to shit.
Have you ever thought that maybe things should go to shit? I'm Katya, by the way.
The woman twirls her hair.
You hear that? That sound. He's breaking something.
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it.
I've had enough of that dead body.
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops! Guarding that bridge like Everott's lapdogs! Is this where it's at now? The RCM is for sale!
Yeah, so he can yell whatever he wants. The scab leader here is one of the mercenaries that's here to, among other things, murder folks that get in the way of breaking the strike.
Spoken by a mercenary, pretending to be a
Thank you, Kim. Yes, that was much more economical. I'll work with whoever I want. Oh shit, that's not a very pro-union message.
Shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across Martinez. It's Kuno. Then the man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him.
The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with Ray's victory today.
Literally didn't. Went to significant lengths to not do that, Measurehead, but thank you. No, I am not. There's times when I will pretend that I agree with people or get along with them because it feels like a way to keep the temperature cool as we are navigating a fraught political landscape, but right now there has been no side choosing. We did what we had to do to keep order.
And what you had to do was to become a union man for all to see.
All right, and that is everything, and hopefully we never have to talk to or about Measurehead ever again. I don't get to go into this crate, though, because he is back on duty. Here's the thing. I do not like Measurehead. I don't like his ideology. I do not want to hang out with Measurehead. Oh, wait. Stop. I want to go, now that we can cross this area, I want to go up to the place where Renee died. I don't have any reason to believe that there was any foul play, but it just seems unusual that we found out where that guy works on the Night Watchman's dock, and now we're going to... then he immediately turns up dead. Maybe that was just the story that he had unfold, but I want to go see if there's anything else over here. Oh, and I never, ever manipulated the crane. We should also go do that.
This is the Night Watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud. René left his uniform neatly folded on the table. Take it. It's just there. Who cares? It's not like anyone's gonna need it. Generally speaking, it would be dishonorable to take it. But then, it looks like a military uniform, and wearing that is very honorable. So, a conflict of honor, it's up to you.
Video game, I'm going to take it.
I suppose René is not going to be needing it anymore. It's a bit too colorful for my taste, though.
It's going to be needed for work.
Fantastic. Try not to wear it with other similarly colorful clothes, okay?
So I don't want to have a seat and rest because that might cause time to pass. Maybe I'll, like, catalog away that that's a thing that can happen. Oh, let me go interact with the crane. And this is going to be another point where I'm likely to, like, be prepared to reload just in case it does something completely unexpected.
A rusting control panel with several knobs. Allumer on, éteindre off.
He did not say marsh there, but whatever. Marsh.
With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air.
Okay.
And with a surprisingly quiet thunk, the crane places the container down. The harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again, now that its purpose has been fulfilled.
What does that mean?
Moving this container, of course. For this purpose it was built. For this purpose it has acted. And now it will rest.
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
So, if I press off now, it's not going to go back into position, but let's just leave. Because that's not what off does. Off doesn't reset it back to its default location. Can I open this now?
Before you stands a cargo container. Just one of many in the yard.
Lieutenant, I think there's something special about this container.
Is this like your thing with that wall again?
Maybe? I can't tell. I just think we should investigate it.
You do? Because I don't.
Why not?
There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one?
It just feels special. Honestly, it's just the fact that this is a video game and I can do it, so I've chosen to. So it feels special.
It's a cargo container, Detective. Just like all the others.
He doesn't even look at it.
We are not here to interact with containers. We are here to talk to the Union, right?
No, I already did that. Kim, do keep up. So, I'm gonna knock.
No reply. The knock produces a hollow ring of metal. Doesn't sound like there's anything inside the container.
At a minimum, in the place that it was put together or dropped off, it feels like it's a bridge to a different place. Let's open the door.
You attempt to turn the handle, to no avail. The doors seem to be mechanically locked. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement.
There's nothing more to do here. So, the only other thing that I can do on the crane is to click on off. But it should, again, that should just depower the crane. It shouldn't have any other impact, I wouldn't think. And this guy doesn't have anything new on the new day, does he?
Oh, hey, mister. No trouble at all, mister.
Nope, okay. Let's hit off on the switch box, and then, like I said, there's so many things to go look at now.
A rusting control panel.
Alright,
the crane does not return to its original position. It does not move at all.
Leave. So, the only other thing that I can possibly think of is mechanically locked or not. What if I put this, where's my multi-tool? Yeah, so we've got a couple things that we could potentially use to open up, or maybe the chain cutters.
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you...
Yeah, this feels like something that I'm going to be able to do a little bit later, but...
You're back before the cargo...
Nope. All right, fair enough. Let's get that out, and we're going to put up the bag. And let me see if I can fast travel. I cannot. So, that all started with me saying, let me just go check the night watchman's office, just because we heard that Renee had died, and we did get a new outfit out of it, and it's only just this moment occurring to me that I didn't look to see what it does. Force says, just sent the first rough draft to my professor, so we'll see what they think. Trying to get it in before 5 today. Well, best of luck, and just in case, Force, that you don't hear back from your professor, something is definitely better. You know this, but I'm just sort of thinking out loud. Something is definitely better than nothing, and trust in yourself. Trust in your ability to make your own case. I'm just sort of like planning ahead that a professor gets busy or making their own plans. So, +1 reaction speed and +1 to Revacholian nationhood. I will probably never wear either of those two things, but there we go. Yeah, I don't know why I'm gonna wear these glasses, because I lose 1 point of drama to get a point of visual calculus, and I'd rather have +2s in everything than +3 in one thing. Force saying, yes, thank you. I'm a natural writer, and he even told me this, so I'm not too worried. Awesome. Okay, I don't think I have anything new to say to Manana, but we'll just check in with him. Go to a communist meeting after all.
How'd you like our harbor?
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man too, probably.
Yeah, okay, so this is exactly like, here's a brand new thing. So I'm going to call it Labor Utopia.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains.
He notes solemnly, then turns to you, a wide smile adorning his face.
Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk.
Okay, who do you think killed the hanged man?
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing?
He shakes his head solemnly. Now, we know that this is not true, but it is also... Sorry, we know that Everard is wrong, but it is true that he says Titus Hardy and his boys killed him.
That's so. I haven't heard anything about that. But if that's true, well, he was an enemy combatant.
What does that mean?
He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our honorable efforts.
That's true. Were you involved in his death, which he wasn't?
I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men, with all sorts of skills.
He believes the Hardy Boys could have done it.
Understood. This has been of limited use. Still, thank you.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. Sure, I'm glad it's not my search.
He takes a sip from his flask. You know something on that note? Why don't we go back? I know I just said hopefully we'll never have to talk to or about Measurehead again, but who knows what else has changed?
Your race descent has
Nothing has changed. Force is saying, and this is going to be difficult to navigate these stairs and read at the same time, but if I double click down there, I've been popping in and out for the last few weeks, and I'm aware of some of the nitty-gritty, but not the big picture. Is the overall mystery something you did or happened, and also the mystery of the Hanged Man? So, Force, as far as I know, the central mystery in the game... Okay, the primary police mystery in the game is that a man is hanging from a tree, and we've learned a lot about that. I personally consider the secondary mystery to the game being that my character sort of woke up on Monday with absolutely no memory of anything at all. There's certain facts that he pulls out from his mind thanks to his encyclopedia skill, but on the whole, sort of feels like he woke up into the world brand new on Monday, and that remains an unresolved point that may just be a bit of video game convenience, or it might be a central mystery to his own life. However, I consider the main mystery to be the guy that's hanging up on the tree, and we have learned a great deal about that, and hopefully more in just a short time. So I have to assume Scab Leader's going to have something to say about us siding with the Union.
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
Nothing new at all. We check in with racist lorry driver.
Looking for something, Aunt?
Nope, nothing. And Force is saying, let's hope that you didn't do it. As far as we know, my character was assigned to come here to look into the murder. So he was not on site prior to the death of the guy. He was, his whereabouts were accounted for by his employers. I don't know if I have any trash.
The
I think
tear
I do.
machine stands in the... Your bottles clunk into the machine.
All right, a little bit of extra cash. Since I'm here, I could buy... So let's look at two things. Do I want cigarettes? I know I got 2 cigarettes, so I'm good on that. And the other thing is, do I want any health items? And sometimes I need health items, but I feel like we've got the whole day. I'll come back if I need health items. Keep my cash fluid for now. Liquid, that's the word. All right, let's go look at the body. And again, I'm prioritizing the body here because for all I know, something to do with the body is going to be like, oh, you have to go interact with it tomorrow or in 3 hours or something. Yep, there it is. Hey, Kuna, you piece of shit. I took away your piñata. What do you think about that?
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side.
I'm not going to wipe a tear from my eye. Well, it's down. Celebrate in a more reserved manner.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy.
Field autopsy?
Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the morgue. We are on number 3.
The RCM's 4-phase murder scene processing manual.
The fuck are they on about?
Cop's gonna cut his shit up.
Oh, God. Can I just, like, fire my gun wildly in their direction? Not in an attempt to hit them, but just get the fuck out of here, these stupid-ass kids. No, got it. Like, presumably in my character's 200-odd solved crimes, this is not the first actual dead body that he's been around.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Forrest is saying, I don't know why, but that reminded me of that scene in Parks and Rec where Andy... So I've not seen Parks and Rec, but Andy is interviewing to be a police officer, and they have him take a polygraph. The guy says, you pull someone over, and it's your father, what do? And Andy says... I'd be like, Dad, why did you let me think you were Oh, I suddenly want to watch Parks and Rec. The end of that was, Dad, why did you let me think you were dead for 7 years? That's a very good comeback to that. And Forrest is saying it's amazing. Yeah, no, just based on a typed out moment from it. That was, I enjoyed that. Okay, so I guess we'll ask what's a field autopsy. It seems to me to be a physical examination of the body, probably without cutting it open in a muddy field.
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single, Et puis descend, to crack the top 20, was the death knell of disco. But what a field autopsy is, you have no idea.
This might cause me some, morale failure, but, you know, why don't I know what a field autopsy is? Because, like, I know what it is.
You must have me confused with the Coppapedia.
Who's the Coppapedia? I want to talk to that guy.
You, sir. You are the Coppapedia.
Okay, Kim, do you have another pair of gloves, or should I just use my armor gloves?
Unfortunately, no.
I have gardening gloves. Are those good enough?
They are better than nothing. Tell you what, I perform the anatomical side of things, while you will take notes.
We'll just fill this in, right? Show him the red field autopsy form in your ledger.
That's right.
You knew it because you inspected your ledger. The lieutenant is relieved you know the protocol.
Oh, hello to Azaric. Azaric, I hope you're having a great Wednesday so far. I get a little bit of time off from work, hopefully heading into the July 4th weekend. Also, I hope that it's not too hot and humid where you are. In our area, we're expecting some relief a little bit later in the week, and that'll be nice.
Yeah, we got this. We're smart.
Okay. Let's... So, I don't think I can remove the dead man's boots until Kim is not present. And I could be wrong about that, because we might be shipping the body back. But that would certainly be the last thing that we'd want to do. Let's look at the field autopsy form.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with...
I mean, the way that I start on this is like, you gotta do it, so you're gonna start at the beginning. 1 assistant.
That's you.
Let's be thorough. Harry Dubois, Lieutenant W. Furtor.
The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings. Just lies there. The next box says...
Coroner's case number...
KK57-0803.0815.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57 equals Precinct 57, followed by his date, 0803, and time of arrival, 0815, on the scene. He's indexed the case after himself, not you.
Well, that's fine. He can do that. Is that actually, like, that is more or less when we walked up to it. That's amazing. Is that... There's no... There's no way that that line of dialogue could account for if we were doing this at like 9 p.m., right? Whatever. Anyway, it must be referencing 8:15 on Monday morning. That has to be it.
That's because he doesn't want to bring up the messy question of your initials.
Well, I know my initials. No. I'm just going to write it down. I'm just going to write it down.
Next.
Name?
We've heard the nom de guerre. Lely. It's better than nothing. Write it down.
Will do. Also, as we're saying, it's hideous outside, but I'm in the AC and my fan is on, so I'm good for now. Yeah, ditto.
What's next? Date of birth?
Yes.
NA.
Age?
Roughly 50.
Try 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side.
I did not get dressed in the way that I probably should have, but at least we're getting some successes here. I'm going to write about 42.
He nods.
Race?
Mondial.
Don't know what that means.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Mwindi. This is as vague as it gets. You might as well say whitish.
And let's write it down.
The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
Sex?
Fucky, fucky!
The little monster exclaims energetically.
Male.
Pigs can have sex?
I'm not writing down fucky fucky or pig's gonna have sex.
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
Date of death?
We're still going with March 4th. 51. What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
I mean, technically I think we have to bring her over, but hasn't the body been identified by... Oh, that's right, we're not putting her name on any official things. I was about to say Klasia, because she positively identified that this is the guy that she was with, but no, we don't want to put her name on anything.
KK 57 0503 0815 listens motionless, with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only one box remains.
Evidence of treatment.
I'm not seeing anything yet, but we know there's tampering here. Write down, yes, non-visual, corroborated by witness. See report. Good.
The lieutenant falls silent. He places his gloved hands on the corpse's chest as if in preparation.
We should start the post-mortem.
Turn the page.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
Okay, well, we're definitely going to start with external examination.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see.
He turns the body onto its side to check the underwear label.
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
Write it down.
The rest of the clothes have been removed post-mortem by scavengers in order to get to the victim's ceramic armor. Officers are in search of the missing pieces. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to, you have deserved them more than anyone else.
I am going to omit the boots. I am also going to ask, when am I going to get them? Because again, if I remember correctly, the game was very explicit that if you wanted the boots, you had to get the body down and then interact with it when Kim was not present. So I'm going to ask, when am I going to get them?
Patience. After the autopsy, before the body is taken away, there will be a window of opportunity. After the lieutenant has gone to sleep. I hope this has helped you, my liege.
Yeah. Big hopes for this. We are going to omit the boots off the ledger.
The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100.100. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by the design. Tattoos.
He stands up, feet planted on either side of the body.
The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a national pattern. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene, using a Trigat Mini. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color, yellow. Length, 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end. Well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature, below freezing.
Okay, well that blows a hole in my complaining about that freezer not being unfrozen, because if it's consistently below freezing, I get it. I just really want to get into that freezer. Also, Force is saying to Azric, thank you for the 3-month subscription to Moo. That's I Moo to you Moo too here on Twitch. And yeah, Azric, that was awesome. That was a very cool thing to do. Are you stealing, tampering with evidence, and mutilation of a corpse? I'm going to have to take you in. And there's a very cool emote there. I can't tell if that's like a robin? Some kind of red bird, it looks like. I am definitely tampering with evidence. I plead innocent on mutilating the corpse. I'm not even in physical contact with it. That's the kids.
Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
Why would I want to touch the corpse's hair? Is there any benefit? That seems gross. I'm not going to touch it. Write it down.
Lividity appears consistent with hanging, but is not. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head and chest, consistent with stones thrown post-mortem. Low velocity.
Fucking low velocity? You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation.
No, we're not giving him high velocity. We're going to write down the facts.
Ligature mark.
The lieutenant produces a small folding knife. With the other hand pulling on the belt, he starts cutting into the polyester. The stench is horrid. After a while, it's obvious the material cannot be cut.
The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Good thing we got these chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now...
He points to the rope squeezing the dead man's neck.
We need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision as you can.
Yo, Kim, I might want to take some speed before we do this. It really steadies my hands.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
God damn it. I'm not gonna pay any attention to Kuno at all. I don't want to fail this. Look for a good spot to cut.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the east.
So I'm just, you know what you do? You cut it on the other side of the knot, and that will, like, I feel like there's a way to do this without cutting it at the neck mark.
Would it be a good idea to cut the knot instead of the belt? Seems the more conservative approach.
Holy shit, we did it. A legendary visual calculus check.
The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there. Steady now. Like a flower arranger. 2 cuts and it should come loose.
Guys. I pulled it from a 20-odd% to an 83%. I so want to take some speed. Speed or like change out my outfit, and just so people know, I cannot change clothing while I'm doing this. So please.
After some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together, sweat forming on your brow.
Press down.
Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
A flower bouquet, I think, is the natural metaphor to use, or simile to use, for this particular situation. Forcing, oh god, this POS again. If there was an equivalent of orphaning, but for parents, these kids are in dire need of it. Yes, thank you for the Jeremy. That I built my character in a specific way, and it feels good to occasionally have success along the lines of like, oh, I do know some things.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck.
Lieutenant has kneeled closer, running his finger along the dark red groove until there's a gap.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters.
Well done. It sounds like it would throw us off if we didn't know
that he was dead. Yes. They moved fast. This is a good treatment.
Yeah, as I remember, they actually strung the body up in Clausia's apartment so that the signs of decomposition and blood pooling and everything would be consistent when they were eventually able to get it up into the tree.
Chest is intact. Normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant. Pelvis intact. Genitalia...
He pulls down the man's underpants.
No! It's gonna happen, see?
I fucking knew it!
This is clearly what they've been waiting for, ever since the autopsy began. The lieutenant is trying to make it as boring as possible.
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
Okay, so this is a real... I'm not going to ask him this. That's a weird question to ask. Let's inspect the genitals.
The dead man's penis is average-sized, congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. The genitalia is greenish. Marbling is present around the crotch.
Let's write it down.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
So I'll point that out to Kim. This scarring is extensive, way more than a law official's.
Mm-hmm. We have a real museum here. Of battles, wars. Last item, hands.
He takes the man's right hand in his, inspects it, then moves on to the other hand. See, here's the thing. I actually, as has been demonstrated here, I'm pretty adroit at visual calculus and logic and stuff. I want to look at the hand.
The hand is surprisingly heavy to lift, filled with decay liquids. Feels as though it could explode if squeezed harder. You're suddenly repulsed, so much so you feel compelled to drop it.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling.
Were we expecting any?
Not particularly. Him being dead when they carried him over.
Yeah, my goal in asking something like that is, so far, this is consistent with the information that we believe we know.
It is very hard to struggle when you're dead. Death is the end of struggle.
Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
I like the fact that when it says you hear a muffled voice, his voice is actually muffled. A lot of games just skip that particular detail. Okay, before I go into internal examination, I would want to describe the injuries, wouldn't I? I feel like I would, but that's not number 2 on the list. All right, let's do internal examination, I guess.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
I'm not sure that the autopsy form is the place that we add the moral to the story. I feel like that comes during the eulogy. Conceptualization, though, really wants me to do this. Sure.
What would that be?
He looks at you inquisitively.
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story.
I have no idea. This is so stupid. The brain is very vulnerable to compromises in its blood supply. Everyone in the whole world knows that. I'm just going to write NA. Sorry, I know that's boring, cop, but this seems like a very stupid thing to put onto an official document.
Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury-related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
Hello to Jägermeister. Sorry, it's we're doing an autopsy, Jaeger. Force says bloating and rigor mortis. Also, oh yes, and hello to Dolshi. Might have to get in a sale. Dolshi, so I should caution you that we are about 16 episodes in. If you were at all curious, the whole collection is up in our videos tab. So if you wanted to see like maybe just the first hour, get a taste for character creation and see the very beginning of the game and get a sense for whether or not it's something that you would enjoy. I can assure you that there's no spoilers there because everything that we're doing, we're seeing for the very first time. That said, you're welcome to join in if you're not, concerned about spoilers. It's, I'll be happy to answer any questions that I can here live. And yeah, I'm very, very much enjoying the game. It is very much a semi-open world mystery RPG game where you're getting experience points and unlock additional abilities and stuff. With the Final Cut DLC, a lot of this stuff is voiced. That wasn't actually available in the original release of the game, and I have a lot of positive things to say about it. I will say that the story does touch on themes sometimes of sexual assault, of racism, of highly political matters like fascism and communism and capitalism. I mean, it's got a fairly dense political structure to it. So I'm just trying to give you a full color of what the game is like, but I am really enjoying it. Dolce says, nah, I sort of know what's going on. I've been keeping an eye on it for a while. Okay, cool. So let's continue with our autopsy here.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous. You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh, like the creaking of an old house at night.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
Very good, Kunois. That's actually exactly what our goal was.
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable. Respiratory system.
Back hunched, as if in prayer, Kim begins to pry open the dead man's jaws. He stops to exert more force. Both hands are used.
Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
So Joelshi was asking, what traits did you pick? I went very heavily, actually I think we can show it right here. Yeah, so I went very heavily into both intellect and psyche, and as you see these white diamonds here indicate that I've spent a bunch in rhetoric, some in visual calculus, a bunch in authority, and I really haven't invested too much down here. I did put a couple points into savoir-faire because, and perception, because I wanted my character to like get things. I figured if this is sort of a detective style story, I want to know things because, having high endurance or high pain threshold isn't super useful if you're Jessica Fletcher. Not most of the time, right? You want to be able to work things out. I will say that in my experience with the game, there's nothing on this list that I want to have low. I feel like everything here serves some sort of purpose, and I feel like every character build is probably equally viable from what I've seen. All right, let's look inside the dead man's mouth.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again, straight in that mouth of his.
Okay, if I do this, I'm going to have to make probably a composure or volition check. And I don't think I'm going to be able to make it, because those are the things I'm not good at. It's probably going to be volition. I haven't taken any morale damage, so 4 is not bad. Let's give it a shot. Look deeper.
It's hard. Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. A contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach and into your mouth. You're forced to swallow, just to keep looking. Inside, you see darkness. Just a mess of meat and darkness.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus.
The lieutenant repeats impatiently. He lets go of the jaws. The mouth snaps shut before you. Also, Dolce is saying that the art style is awesome. Yeah, that was one of the things that immediately appealed to me about it when I first saw it on McMaster's stream at JV McMaster.
Hepatobiliary. NA.
Why? Don't we have anything?
Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
He looks at the corpse's stomach with a mixture of tiredness and disgust. I don't think so. My character does know a lot, but...
Neither am I.
And that's it?
That's it.
All right, write down NA. Mia, thank you very much for doing the shout-outs.
Same for toxicology and serology. NA.
That seems reasonable, but I guess I'll ask both.
Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there?
Reservoirs? No, but do they take obscure trivia and odd tidbits?
The completionist in me wonders if there's anything else we can do.
Like a toxicology screening? At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if he was brimming with cocaine. But still, you should add a request.
Really? Because if he was alive, cocaine would have remained in his system for well over a week. Anyway, so we're gonna add... So I'm glad that I asked, because now we can add that
Cardiovascular.
note.
The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging. Gastrointestinal.
He breathes a sigh of approaching relief. This is the last field on the list. He looks around to the ground, to the pool of feces there.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
He touches the corpse's bloated lower abdomen briefly. I'm going to omit the voila.
What's next on the list?
Okay, description of injuries.
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too.
What's the 4th one for?
Nothing. Just in case.
That's reasonable. Okay, so let's note the bite marks.
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted.
So, quick moment of revelation. I have no idea what an odontologist is. I've never heard that word before.
And your opinion, officer?
Non-fatal post-mortem.
Agreed. Next injury?
All right, the contusions. These would have been caused by the rocks thrown by Kuno, as far as I know.
So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
Yeah, that's Kuno. And hello to Tashir Games, who says, back from the darkness again. How's everyone? Doing well. Hopefully the power has remained on, and hopefully the heat is going to give you some break pretty soon, Tashir. I know it's been very, very hot across the country, but at least in our area, we're going to see that drop pretty soon to more comfortable levels. Also, Centrifugal Force said teeth regarding the odontologist, and Mia's adding up a person who studies the structure and diseases of teeth, especially one who uses their knowledge to identify people and help solve crimes. So I think what we're learning there, or what that sentence meant, is that there's bite marks, but not human bite marks or even animal bite marks that we need to know about. It's just birds. They were pecking at the corpse. Oh, also, Tashir, I hope you have a nice scrumptious lunch ready, because we are really diving deep on this bloated old corpse.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
The lieutenant's admission has caused great gratitude in Kuno. He is silent with it. Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
Non-fatal post-mortem.
Right. Next.
All right, that ligature mark.
A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
So, yeah, he wasn't trying to... There's no finger marks like he was trying to loosen it because he was dead at the time.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
Yeah, this is non-fatal post-mortem. Also, before I check on this, which is, I was so frustrated for so long that we couldn't get our hands on the body, but we know that that was not what he died of. And in fact, I have a question. Where's the gunshot? Like, when we looked in the mouth, wasn't he, like, shot through the mouth? Wasn't that the whole thing? Why have we, in this entire examination, not found a bullet wound? Because wasn't that the whole thing? Before I go, Tashir, you have been talking in recent, months really at this point, about doing like a series of podcasts about tell Tashir tales or something like that, where it's going to be people talk to you about one of their passions, and you were talking with people on Division Force about giving you maybe a 60-minute education on the world of Warhammer, or Guinness Por Vita about the world of painting, or like whatever it would be. I'm just gonna put out there, because I'm sort of in a mood about it lately. It would be awesome if you, Priest, Azaric, Patikan, Borlak, anybody who's sort of in the Division Force thing, got together and did some sort of a pen and paper RPG. It doesn't have to be something as sophisticated as Dungeons and Dragons, although I feel like that'd be highly approachable. You guys could do Blades in the Dark. You guys could do I'm trying to think of like what would be like Call of Cthulhu, something like that, where like the character creation is mostly just secondary to the tale that you guys are going to go in. I think that would be so much fun to just hear you guys go in on. But anyway, this is non-fatal. It is a post-mortem wound.
That's right. No clawing marks on the neck, no signs of struggle on the crime scene, and a witness statement from the perpetrators all confirm wound is post-mortem. Treatment. That's it. Field autopsy done, detective. All that remains is to see if the alleged cause of death, the bullet, is truly lodged in his brain. I'll leave that to you, colleague. Or to processing. I won't force you in there.
Oh yeah, finally. Let's get in there.
Seriously, I can just back him and drive him to the morgue anytime you tell me to. No need for heroics, unless you want to.
So, I want to say, tell me something, dead man, because my character has had conversations with corpses in the past. They were surprisingly illuminating. I don't think that I can remove the boots while Kim is here. Like, that's been thoroughly established. And furthermore, I think if I try to do it, it will lower my chance of success later. I'm going to see, it's 97%. It can't get any higher. Like, it literally can't. I need to roll Snake Eyes. And here's my concern. Here's why I'm filibustering, guys. I have rolled Snake Eyes so many times. But stop stalling.
Your arms reach out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, slippery flesh, first with your fingertips, then under the palm of your hand.
Oh, we're gonna get some animation to it.
His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a spider, your hand crawls over his features. Everything is silent.
Put your fingers in his mouth.
The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop.
Play with it. This feels right. No. If it was examine it, this feels right, then I might do that. But play with his tongue? No thank you. Open your eyes and look.
A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your naked hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from the throat, and there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate, you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the edges appear darkened. An abrasion collar. This is what we're after.
Abrasion collar.
Abrasion collar.
The lieutenant looks in. There's a pen in his hand. His notebook is open at the copy paper.
Kuno is silent.
Okay, touch it with your finger gently.
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound.
Boy, this is really step by step. Put your finger in.
Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem.
The fuck is happening?
Ah, shit, see?
Brainstem? Also, Tashir is saying that Borlak actually does a lot of that stuff on his stream, so he'd be perfect to organize and lead it. Yeah, put together a simple one-shot, get together some people that are interested in, like, engaging with it in good faith. I think it'd be very cool.
Yes, that's what this part is called.
All right, I'm going to feel around first. Is that a good idea? I would feel like it would be, before you go pushing in deeper.
The basal ganglia feels clumpy. The bullet has torn apart his reptilian complex. This man will never sleep again. Never wake.
All right, push deeper.
Your fingers slide into the remains of his limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres.
Let's tell Kim, the cavity is here, cut right between the hemispheres.
The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper.
Fucking cavity, see?
Kuno's voice is hushed.
Quivering with awe.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate, like, what a perfect murder this was? That they shot him in the roof of his mouth, inside his mouth, with a bullet that then did not penetrate out from the skull. So unless there was this style of autopsy that was extremely methodical, it would look like a hanging.
Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow.
I've only got the one wriggle in option.
Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly. Cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrist as you push deeper until you feel it on the tip of your finger. Sharp, serrated material. The edges cut right into your skin. This must be the bullet.
Okay, allegedly this is easy. We've only got the one shot. It's 83%. Sorry, I like the animation.
You pick the sharp metal bullet between your index and middle finger. With your face twisting from pain and concentration, all you need to do is just...
I'm gonna whisper I got it.
My pig's fucking got it?
I whispered it! He's like 10 feet away.
He's watching his old man get the big prize at the claw game.
What? What is it?
Slowly pull your fingers out.
The inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove. Sweat dripping down your brow. Careful not to lose the prize between your fingers. With a plop, your hand emerges from the mouth, covered in blood up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower, a blossom made of lead.
Fucking beautiful!
A bullet.
Lieutenant puts a small bag marked evidence under it, and we're gonna drop it in. still got my garbage bag with me.
Bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes and says,
A non-caliber, rifled, some kind of brittle alloy, fractured on impact.
Yeah, designed to not have an exit wound because it would break apart inside. I don't want to have it, nor do I want to give it as a gift. These are both bad ideas, so I'm going to tell him to keep it as a gift.
No, you deserve it. We can log it later.
The lieutenant drops the bag in your bloody hand. It feels light.
We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion collar. Soft palate, back of mouth. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound?
Correct.
Opinion, fatal injury.
This concurs with the Hardy Boys story and Classia's. My only concern with saying this is that these 2 fucking kids are here. But then again, I'm gonna say it. I can't spend any time thinking about what they're gonna talk about.
And one last thing. We should amend injury number 3, ligament mark. Treatment. It's obvious the Hardy Boys tampered with it.
I think I need to wash myself. But no, let's focus on maybe the bullet holds more answers.
Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
Okay, can I wash my hands?
Oh, you really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling in Rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening.
In the evening, which is, 16 hours away, sure.
We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day.
You'll be gone? Wait, also, I need to get the boots off.
Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this. I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective.
The word lingers in the air of the yard. Far away, dogs are barking. Further yet, the sound of motor traffic. Detective.
Okay. I don't want to work alone for the rest of the day. So this is gonna, I must not click on 3. If I click on 3, I reload. I'm just telling everybody that because I want those boots. So now, let's have a conversation with the corpse. Unless I want to leave and put on different clothing for that, which I might want to do that. Hold on a second. Okay, hold on a second. If we're going to talk to that dead body, we want to be wearing, Inland Empire clothes. So we're going to put on that. Conceptualization? Probably. Nah, but drama is also really good for talking to dead people. Let's do electrochemistry. I like shivers. That seems a little bit better for that. No, I'm a -1 drama. Take it back. Okay, anything else? Yeah, let's put on these ugly yellow pants. Drama and electrochemistry. Well, that's probably better than this. Empathy and logic, no. I'm probably not going to put on any other thing, but... Logic, drama, no. +2 logic and -1. Logic is not going to help me with that. Let's put on a perception visor. And... Half-light. I always forget what half-light is. Let the body take control. Threaten people. No, that's not very helpful. So... Alright, I feel like that's the best I can do if I'm going to commune with the dead. This is my autopsy outfit.
Visibly now. The lieutenant lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Okay, hopefully this helps. Tell me something, dead man.
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
Ah, shit. There's absolutely nothing new in here. No, there's nothing here. That was all pointless.
Come back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible. Also, see me in your dreams.
It has not escaped me that the hangman's voice is extremely similar to ancient reptilian brain. So, we're definitely not doing this. Like, I would always do that at the end of the day anyway. This is going to be, like, it's the rest of the current day. And I don't want to shake him for all day. We've got a lot to get up to. So we're going to leave. Okay, that was momentous. So we're going to... I thought that we could learn something new from the body. No, we couldn't. Not a big deal. Let's put in the nice gloves, my weird skull cap thing. Put on the drama thing, jeans. I think that's more or less what I was wearing before. Okay. So Kuno doesn't have something to chuck rocks at anymore. I'm going to talk to him about that. We're going to put down a good save here. Hello to Borlak. Borlak, we were actually just talking.
Necromancer pig? That shit was dark. Going in there like that. Oh, brutal shit. Tell me.
Borlak, we were actually just talking a few moments ago about, like, Tashir to express an interest in, like, you know, getting some people on to talk about some of their passions, some of their interesting stuff. And I was just sort of, like, casually pitching the idea of him participating in some sort of, like, pen and paper role-playing game. And he said that you do a lot of that on your channel. So, do that. That'd be super cool.
Kuno dies. You gonna pick one out of his brain like that too? Kuno's gonna go out in a hail of bullets. Gonna look like a fucking porcupine.
Porta Rosa, a side alley of the Boogie Street Spearhead. A young man in his early 20s approaches patrol officer Emile Mullins and asks for a cigarette. As Officer Mullins reaches in his coat pocket for the pack of Astra he just purchased this morning.
So this happens from time to time. It's a positive esprit de corps role, and my best guess is that either Harry is engaging in a very colorful imagination about something, or is remembering things from his previous time as a police officer. I'm not sure.
The man shoots him point blank in his chest. Breathless, the patrol officer collapses in the gutter. His right hand is grabbing the armor on his chest. The bullet didn't pierce it, but he can't breathe. On the pavement, the patter of the perpetrator's feet growing distant. Bleed, pig. Someone opens a window and says, but Emile cannot see who. His sight grows dim with pain.
That all came out of... Are you going to pick one out of his brain too? Kuno's going to go down in a hail of bullets. Going to look like a fucking porcupine. I'll be there for you, Kuno. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
There's a dreamy look in his eyes. Oh, look at this. Kuno the Snitch. I don't know why I got that, but I now have a 92% chance to empathize with Kuno, and I didn't have to spend an extra empathy point. Shit. Before I do that, because that's going to stay open, well, I'm off.
Kuno doesn't...
I know you don't care, Kuno. Do I have any pro empathy? I've already got my empathy shoes on, right? Is there anything else? Do I have empathetic glasses? I do. Yeah, we're going to give this the absolute best possible chance to win.
You missed a good show before. A kid came by and completely fucked the tree to pieces.
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno!
You need to act decisively. It's Kuno. Use Kuno words.
Okay. I don't want to say that. So, as far as I know, this is not a racial slur in our world, but it is a racial slur in the world of Disco Elysium. Shit. I don't want to say this. I'm going to say this one because it just told me to use Kuno words. I don't want to say that, though. No. And he's not going to listen to that. But this is just going to encourage him to use a different slur. Fuck it. Sorry, everybody.
Stop choking, Kuno! The faggot has got you in a chokehold!
Kuno's not fucking choking.
He grabs his throat like he's choking. Okay, choked you out there serves you right for using reactionary shit.
Like fuck you did. Kuno's gonna keep saying kipped forever now. Kipped.
He only gets 2 out before he coughs.
Shit. The fuck did you want anyway? You got your fuck bag down. Now let's talk normal shit.
Oh, you want a normal conversation now, huh?
Yes. Kuno wants a normal conversation. Ask normal shit, please.
All right. So, I took it up from 92 to 97%. Let's do it.
It's not Kuno. It's Kuno S.
How?
Kuno S is by far the worst of the two. Kuno has no problem being near you, but the other hides behind the fence, afraid for her life, like she's done something very bad. She came up with that psychopathic scheme of screaming for help before. Kuno just wanted to talk to you about his name. Kuno S was the one who wound him up and directed him. All in all, Kuno respects madness. You cannot hope to outdo her on that front. You must win yourself a few minutes with him alone.
All right, let's act on it and try to separate them. Hey, Kuno. Tss.
Fuck you whispering about?
He's whispering too. He's going with it. But watch what happens.
Fuck you whispering about!
She puts extra stress onto that word, expecting it will make you uncomfortable.
If Kuno wants to whisper, he's gonna fucking whisper, okay? Let's whisper, pig.
This is it. You've got him. But be careful. You can still fuck this up. Don't make Kuno look bad in this.
Oh, brother, I can fuck anything up. Okay, so what are our options? Listen to me, she's trying to control you. We gotta get you out of here. What's up with her? She's terrifying, crazy, scary. Am I glad she's out of our hair? She's fucked up. Huh. Kuno respects madness. You cannot hope to outdo her on that front. So that makes me think that if I say that she's crazy scary, she's not intimidating him. She's winding him up and sort of like provoking him, I feel like. So I don't think that number 2 is it. Telling him that she's trying to control... like, if we say this, he's going to interpret it as like running away. Like, you're trying to get me to run away like I'm a coward, and then he's not going to want to do that. I'm going to go with number 3. I'm glad that she's out of our hair. She's fucked up. It's 2 or 3. I'm going to go with 3.
She's not fucked up. Everyone's fucked up. Stop judging shit.
Wrong move.
Shit.
But he's whispering still. You haven't lost him. Just don't mess up again. Or you will. There are no guarantees here.
All right, number 2 then. What's up with her? She's terrifying, crazy, scary. Because this, if we make him think that he's going to be perceived as a coward, he's out. He's immediately out. What's up with her? She's terrifying, crazy, scary.
Crazy? You don't know the half of it. She's not crazy. She's insane. Dangerous. She's smoked a man. She's done people in. Probably even pigs.
Stop talking to him! Kuno, I'm fucking warning you! You're gonna get us into shit!
She understands what you're trying to do.
Yo, see? Did Kuno not tell ya? Kuno told ya. Kuno talks to whoever he wants. Talk, pig. Kuno's got it under control.
He hunches down again.
You did it. They're separated. He's even turned his back to her, so she can't read his lips. Fuck. She can read lips. You should cup your mouth.
Okay, is that an actual option? What do you mean she smoked someone? Do you think she doesn't have anything to do with the dead man. She doesn't know anything about this. What do you mean that she smoked someone?
Kuno means she killed someone. That's right. She's a killer. Like, actually a killer.
His little green eyes are fixed on yours. He's meant everything he said before. But right now, he not only means it, he is sincere.
What if she has Kuno? That would explain things. You're serious about this killing business. I don't know. It's either 2 or 3. He's clearly serious about it. Okay, I'm gonna go with number 2 because it more matches what Drama has told me. You serious about this killing business?
Killing is serious shit. Kuno's always serious about the 488.
488. The criminal code doesn't go higher than 190.
She's probably killed a pig too. I mean, I'm pretty sure she has.
How many cops has she killed then?
Forget Kuno said that. Kuno was just shitting. Kuno was just running his mouth. Kuno's stupid like that.
He feels eyes on the back of his head and stops.
A cop would be too large for her to overpower. But a determined child of her size can still kill the vulnerable, the elderly, the homeless, or other children. The creature peers at you both from over the fence. There is something searching in her eyes.
All right, let's follow up on that. Do you think it's possible that she killed other kids?
Kuno falls silent. He does not look at you when he replies.
Kuno, that's what Kuno is starting to think, yeah?
Don't move your head. Just from the corner of your eye, look at her.
All right, let's do it.
Though her friend spoke too low for her to hear, Kuno S is not smiling anymore.
You said she's insane?
Yeah, she's psycho. None of that kiddie psycho. Cat burning shit. She does the real deal.
Okay, yeah, not the cat burning shit. I can't tell you the story of when I first heard it, but I have a memory of first, like, just being introduced to the concept of lighting a living animal on fire, and to this day it's so, I cannot imagine what would possess someone to do something that hateful. Boy, this game really has its roller coasters, doesn't it? Okay. What's the real deal? Be specific.
Snuff radio shit. Believe me, pig, you don't want to know.
And he doesn't even want to think about it. This isn't just another boast.
All right. I don't think there's anything to do with the dead man at all. Is she your sister? Feels like the most basic question. They do look similar in that they have the same uncommon color of hair, but let's go with, what's that language that she uses?
Fuck knows. She says it's the Song of Air people or some shit.
What people?
Crazy people. The fucking Nakis. I don't know.
Sounds boreal, like something from the tundra and tiger-covered cutler, Isola. Far, far away from here. As far as possible, really.
Katla Isola. Okay, well, I guess I'm asking encyclopedia because this doesn't have quotes. Do they have red-haired people there?
You mean evil little red-haired people like her? Yes, they do. The Suruese have that ginger gene.
Okay, could she be Suruese?
Suruese? Like that man from Helmdall shit? She could be. She could be that Helmdall shit.
Revelshot does have a small Suruese community, or she climbed into a yakberry crate and was shipped over accidentally.
Okay, then she's plainly not his sister if he doesn't know where she's from. So I'm not going to ask that either. I'm going to ask, how are you doing? And like, for anybody that might be coming in for the first time, some of these like responses can actively serve as, they can actually harm your ability to have other conversations lately. I guess I'll ask if he thinks that she has anything to do with the dead man, just in case she might know more than she's let on, but I don't see any reason why she would.
Kuno wasn't around, and C was with Kuno. Told you this already.
Where were you guys?
Look, Kuno's gonna put you at ease. We didn't do it.
He speaks the truth, my liege.
I got 5 experience points out of it. I'm not going to ask if she's his sister. She plainly is not. It doesn't make any sense. How are you dealing with all of this?
How's Kuno dealing? Kuno's dealing just fine. He doesn't need you fucking with any of it. C doesn't either. Kuno's got this shit under control.
You need backup, I'm here for you. I feel like that is somewhat better than she needs professional help, you can't do this alone. I'm gonna go with you need backup, I'm here for you.
Listen. C is Kuno's go-to. Kuno's protecting her. You fuck with C, you fuck with Kuno. You threaten her, you threaten to take her away.
This is what it all comes down to. He needs you to take him seriously now.
I'm going to kill you. I'll run when you put the cuffs on her. Sneak up on you later and fuck you up. You understand?
The boy looks you in the eye, black pupils trying to focus. So, if I need to take him seriously, then I'm going to say I can respect that.
Alright, now we can do business.
Business?
Yeah, what do you want? Kuno can hook you up with...
He starts, no longer whispering.
Oh, don't hook him up with shit, Kuno.
See, relax. He respects the Kuno. Kuno made him respect the Kuno. You respect the Kuno, you get all kinds of shit. Remember when you tried to get Kuno to hook you up? We can get on that now. If you run a little errand for the Kuno, me and you, Kuno's gonna hook you up with illegal narcotics.
Okay, I kind of feel like I want to figure out if she's killing kids, though. Like my character's all about the illegal narcotics, but now that I have a strong supply of speed, I kind of want to deal with her.
See, it's tension and release with Kuno. Now we releasing. The pan buying shit, that's on now too. 90% discount for Kuno's pig. Kuno can flex. Kuno flexes for hobos. Kuno sees you're in need.
He spreads his hands like a baker presenting the goods. A smile spreads across his flushed face. So... Okay, so the 15 real is not a 95% discount. But if we run the errand, maybe that's where we'll get the discount from. So let me start with that.
Kuno gets it from his dad. Kuno and his dad are major suppliers. That's where Kuno gets his lightning on.
Oh, was it 45 before? No, but that's still not a 95%. Then again, hold on. I'm math checking Kuno. I'm being told that maybe it was 45 before for the pants, but this was weeks ago from our perspective. So regardless, I'm gonna bank on our ability to get a further discount if we grab this kid some drugs.
Problem is, Kuno and his dad had a little falling out. Now junkies clawing at Kuno's door. Streets going mad. Kuno's got to throw his dirty popo man at it.
Okay.
Dirty popo man is you. In there is Kuno's violent dad on steroids. Kuno's dad does steroids and speed. If you can take him, you can have half of the speed.
Who's your dad, Kuno?
Kuno's dad is a fucking monster. He's the most violent man in Revachol. He doesn't give a shit about a single thing. He drinks too.
Are you sure you can take on the most violent man in Revachol? In your condition?
I'm sure I can't. I couldn't even pass the endurance check to think about doing it. I don't think it's gonna go my way. How much material are we talking about?
Like half.
Half of what?
A baggie, but like in this vial.
That's half a gram, sir.
Okay, half a gram?
Yeah, Half a G? Want it or not?
That's not very much.
Fuck you talking about half a G? This shit is giant, grade A shit. So clean you can barely see it.
You can barely see it because there's barely any.
Okay, here's what's gonna happen, Kuno.
Okay, Kuno's listening.
I actually have plenty of speed. I actually have a lot of speed. Not for the speed. I'm going in there after the most violent man in Revachol. For justice, I'm a narc. I'm not going to say that. I'm going in there for justice. I'm a narc, and I'm going to confiscate it. But that's a lie because I need speed, or I'm not going in there. Well, I don't want to give up the possibility of going in there, so I'm going to go after the most violent man in Revachol.
Sure, whatever. If you survive, make sure to bring that shit back to Kuno. Kuno's almost out. You wouldn't like the Kuno when he's out.
Really? My opinion of Kuno could drop further. I guess I'll have to take your word for that.
Just get in the apartment building. Kuno knows you already fucked your way in. Kuno knows everything.
He aggressively points at his eyes.
Go to room 12, first floor, and kick down the door. Police violence style. Kuno style. And then it's action time. You're locked in the room with violent fuckheads. That's it. Next time Kuno sees you, you better have his shit.
What the hell are you signing us up for here?
I never forget that Kim is there, but I always enjoy it when he decides to speak up to say, what is wrong with you? I don't want to say to Kim Kutsuragi that I'm going to go kill Kuno's dad. I actually have plenty of speed, so I don't even need what we're going in there. It's actually more about the experience points because there's, like, I want infinity experience points. Obviously, I'm not going to take it. We need to get drugs away from a minor.
Okay, then.
Okay, and I'm not going to buy the pants. Nothing that he said in there was like, I will give you an additional discount. So I might be wrong about this, but...
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
All right. Okay, so I can now talk to Klasia because I can talk to her after the autopsy is done. And I can't think of any reason not to do it right now. So let's go talk to her. It is possible that she will not talk to us so long as the body's in the yard, and that she needs to have it taken away. It needs to be removed from the yard by Kim before she will to have the further conversation. But I want to go try it right now. And yes, I have, I think, 2 experience points now, but we're going to save them because I have a ladder to climb, and I have a freezer to open and a ladder to climb. So I want to be very careful about spending those points in a way that will hopefully make me able to do those things. Also, I didn't read aloud. I did see back when Borlak had said, I do role-playing, though with bad internet for the last 2 weeks, I'm about 3 weeks behind. I hope that clears up. We went through a period of having, like, really unsteady internet, and it was very unpleasant. Yeah, I'm going to take off the glasses, which loses me a point of empathy, but... might as well put that away. I'm not getting anything out of it right now. Alright, that's good enough.
Hello, officer.
Oh, right. And we can...
What brings you up here again?
We can also talk to her about the buoy, which I was specifically waiting for Kim to be here. Yeah, let's ask about the buoy.
Oh.
Did you take the documents?
No, of course not. As I said, it would have been too risky for me to use those documents anyway. My employer gave them to me. In truth, I should have destroyed them.
So, again, to catch everybody up, we have discovered previously, in big spoiler alert, so look out, Klasia lied to us. Her name is not Klasia, it's something else that I don't remember right now. And she hid documentation of her actual identity in a buoy off the coast of Western Revachol. We went there and the buoy was empty, so that's our topic of conversation.
She doesn't seem to be lying. She's genuinely spooked by their disappearance.
Okay, I don't think it was the cryptid that took the documents. Perhaps the people that are after you took it?
They couldn't know where I put it. I'm absolutely sure I was not followed. And I've told no one but you. You mentioned seawater? I was worried I'd been too careless with the latch. The documents were probably just washed away.
That's... What? I've hidden a $10 bill with greater care than that. I don't believe that for a moment. Basically, her real passport and everything else? No. Shit. Is that it? I can't even ask her about that again. Well, what's done is done. We have concluded our autopsy, and I would like to ask you some questions about Lely. Lely being the dead guy.
Let's see. I wrote down the nickname Lelystad.
Lieutenant has taken out his notebook. He moves his finger across the page.
We have questions that might help solve some gaps in our field autopsy. I'm sure my colleague has a few of his own while I take notes.
He tore out the page from his notebook, by the way.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations, recorded neatly in blue ink.
So, Borlak was asking, so what did you want to ask me about pen and paper RPG? Well, I guess the question would be, and this would be a negotiation between you and Tashir based on your availability and stuff, but how would you, I think the topic is, how would you feel about running like a, hello to Groomfy, and everybody coming over. Groomfy, we're just addressing a quick question to Borlak, but welcome everybody. We are into episode 16 of Disco Elysium, which is very far in. If you wanted to avoid spoilers, this would be a great opportunity to jump out. But if not, great game and very much enjoying it. And you are going to be with us for a interesting interrogation immediately after pitching the idea to Borlak about doing a maybe a one-shot of some sort of pen and paper RPG. I would defer to you on what you might recommend, but it would be for folks like Tashir, Patikin, Priest, Inc., other people that you've played with at Division Force, but maybe getting them together one afternoon to do some sort of a one-shot. You'd be sort of helping them get into a character that they like and running through a quick adventure and getting a sense. And the reason that I think that this is so cool is that maybe it would only be a single afternoon of having fun, but there's been bigger projects that started on less, and I think it would be a lot of fun to see. So I was just going to see if that was something that you might be interested in. I know that Samalander is currently working up a Blades in the Dark one-shot that he's going to be running with Mia and Azaric and some others, and I was just... I love seeing people give it a shot and try it out. But yeah, Groomfy, I hope that you had a great time today with, I assume, let's actually do a quick shout out, because Mia might be away from the keyboard. Oh, no, she just got it. Never mind. It was ... SnowRunner. Yeah, I hope you guys had a great time with that. Okay, the young woman cranes her neck trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant just passed to you. On it is a loose list of autopsy observations recorded neatly in blue ink.
Everything left to be clarified is in the column on the left.
Okay, so I'd want to start with simple questions. About how old was he? We wrote down 42.
He was 42.
Holy shit.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no.
The memory makes her smile.
We even celebrated his birthday like some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
Looks like you were right, officer.
Lieutenant taps his notebook once, as though assigning you some kind of point. Borlak is saying he'd be happy to do a test game so you can see what it's like. Borlak, if you haven't been around, and let me continue this interrogation, but I'd like to touch base with you on that as we can proceed on this.
Points are good. Have one, you old dog, before we all die.
All right. I am not going to ask him if it was a competition. Better not mention it.
The young woman looks at you, then the lieutenant, then you.
Oh, hello to Brian. Brian, I hope you're also having a great Wednesday and staying cool. I know that you work at a like an auto repair shop, and I can't imagine that those are super well air conditioned a lot of the time. So I hope that you're doing okay.
She's clearly sensing something. A spike in testosterone levels, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know about testosterone. What I can say is that Kim and I are not in competition to solve this crime. The goal is to solve the crime. I actually don't care which of us gets the credit for it. Let's see. How about his eye color?
Blue. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies, you know? It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember?
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone.
So it's possible if we had touched his hair, it would have been, because remember we didn't touch his hair, that it would have come away oily. But again, he was hanging from that tree for over a week and a half. So no matter how oily it was, it would have had to have worn off in the rain and snow that's coming down all the time. Hey, Klasia, the deal with this tattoo, can you walk me through it?
Oh, that.
It's clear she liked it.
You liked it?
Quite a lot, yes.
So, it was a map of his service history, as far as I know.
Sure, service history. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though.
For showing off to chicks? How so? I've never heard anything about chicks enjoying colorful tattoos.
How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason.
Is this Oranese lit?
Let me ask about that. Also, Brian is saying that he's on 6 days vacation. Congratulations, Brian. I hope that you get the most out of it and really enjoy it. And hopefully we'll be able to see some streams from you.
Yes. This is the very essence of Oranese lit. A moment's respite. Dark and hopeless as the struggle itself.
She leans even further back to demonstrate.
He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, "Saw some bat shit there. Killed some loincloths." And so it goes. Star after star, port after port, third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them.
So oftentimes on Mia's stream, she'll say that she's unable to tell when I am being ironic, and that may have been the backstory on the all caps message, which, Mia, I'm not going to attempt to yell into the microphone in a attempted replication of your tone when she says, "You've never heard about chicks enjoying colorful tattoos?" No, that... Believe me, that was irony, that my character here was expressing such surprise that that might be a thing.
Oh, yeah.
She nods. Can you tell us precisely what these means and show her a photograph?
No, thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
She pours herself some more coffee. Her infinite coffee supply is something I really envy.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Oranje needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people in the Seminine Islands. And on other islands, too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself.
I'm not going to comment on the funness or goodness of that story. I'm going to thank her for clearing it up.
Change of topic, perhaps?
She looks over her shoulder to the sea, then back at you, smiling faintly. Sure, let's ask her about the toxicology report. What does she think it's going to show us? I think it's going to show us some of that, I think it's going to show us amphetamines, and I think it's going to show us some of that drug that she used to stop people from ODing on amphetamines.
A real rainbow splattering of pharmaceuticals, I bet. Barbiturates, amphetamine, sildenafil. How much does the toxicology report cost the police of Revachol? I can do it for half of that. Save you some money, make some myself.
It's quite expensive, miss, but we'll manage without your help for now.
Okay, and now where is Lelystad, the place, I mean?
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term. A nowhere town there.
Oh my goodness, hello to everybody raiding over with Moo. Moo, Groomfy just arrived and we were sort of greeting him as we go through this police interrogation. But hello to everybody who came in from Moo's SnowRunner stream. I hope you all had a really, really good time. We are in episode 16 of Disco Elysium, which is pretty deep into it. The conversation that we're having is central to the main plot, and I think that this game is very, very well done. So you have any interest in a painterly style detective RPG set in a sort of interesting little sort of rundown city. I'm not sure really how to describe the setting in a short amount of time, but it is very, very well done. The writing is on point. It really deals with some very serious and somber subjects, as well as it's not afraid to get a little bit silly and fun from every once in a while. And hello to Cheeto Pito. I hope that you are having a great day, and thank you very much for the follow. But I just wanted to give a quick description of what we're playing, because we are going to continue on with this main story quest, but this game is currently on sale as part of the Steam Summer Sale. So if anything that I just said sounded remotely interesting, I urge you to check out some reviews. You will find that this is a very, very well received game, and you can get it for an absolute song right now. However, we're going to be able to continue on. Moo, thank you so much for the raid, and thank you to Groomfy for the raid as well. But let's continue our conversation here.
The Lelystad municipality has few boroughs and even fewer cities. It's made of agricultural plots near the border of Gottwald. Executive summary: cows, silos, and wheat.
Moo is saying that she did warn everybody that we were pretty far along in the game. Yeah, nothing that you've seen so far would be a spoiler, but yeah, thank you for letting people know ahead of coming through. Oh boy, Moo just saw cows. Well, this is, unfortunately, these cows are very far away from where we are.
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was occidental, not mondial. I'll update the form.
Wow, I got something wrong. And I don't mean that I'm disappointed that I got something wrong. You were both from Oranje?
Yes. We were compatriots.
Did that bring you together?
No. He was too old for that. And from another part of Oranjenrijk. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje. It was bad habits.
No love for Mother Oranje. But wasn't he a soldier? This could be worth pursuing.
Okay, so for anybody coming in with Moo who might not have seen this, when Rhetoric speaks up, that's a shard of my own personality that's giving me advice based on my character's intuition, and that's something that we have worked up pretty hard. Also, Mia is asking Moo for more details on how Groomfy had to save her all the time, quote unquote, so I will look forward to seeing that as well. So He wasn't a soldier. No, if it's worth pursuing according to rhetoric, I'm going to ask about it. A military man, but not a patriot.
No. He left the National Service after they taught him to do what he did on Seminine. He wasn't the flag-waving kind. He was the making money, killing people kind. He was by no means a stupid man. A people person. A small platoon leader. Certainly not a patriot.
Given the fact that what we know about her backstory, I don't think that she seems like much of a patriot herself.
Mm-hmm. There is nothing on Muindi. The old world is dead, and we both knew it. Maybe Orania did bring us together. In loathing. I love Revachol, though. I hope she loves me, too.
Well, the people here seem to care about you a lot, so I think that you're good there. I think we're finished with this line of questioning. Let's hand the lieutenant back his notes.
All right.
Lieutenant puts the slip back into his notes and observes the young woman for a moment.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee.
As far as I know, that's it. But let me see. I just want to ask a couple more questions about the deceased, which... Oh, a rare bug here. We have exactly the same prompt twice. Okay, actually, I don't know that I do have anything else that I wanted to ask about.
Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42?
That's what I thought he was, yeah.
Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of morality. He was 42 years old?
Where's this going?
How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder?
Okay, well, Kim was way the hell off by like almost a decade on how old he thought the corpse was, so I'm not sure that he's going to be a good source for this. I could ask her, but I'm feeling kind of introspective. I'm going to say I'm...
Yes.
Okay, 300 years is stupid. Oh my god, I have no idea. Probably middle-aged, but...
Do you want to know the truth?
Hit me with it.
To the laboratorium.
What? No! So I've unlocked date of birth generator. Your face looks like it's 58 and your body feels like it's 60. Your mind feels like it's lived for 1 day or 100, both longer than they ought to be. The day and the century. But for how long, then, has this thing attached to your sentience walked the planet's crust? Time to start racking those brains of yours, Elder One. When and where were you born? This is the kind of thing that's, whatever it unlocks is probably going to be, like, super useful because it's some sort of incredibly mundane piece of information. Before we go further, rather, let me just scroll back because I think that we're back on the road. I very much dislike this touchpad. Because before all the raids we were very excited about, oh, so wait, Borlak's saying, but it's worth noting that I have my own style for games, and I run games, the way that I run games wouldn't be the way that many others do. But, oh, no, Borlak, actually you're back at the exact perfect time, because I was just scrolling back. I was just reading aloud what you had said about, like, you run games your own way. So does everyone, and I feel like the appeal here is not teach Tashir some platonic ideal of what games could be, but rather just like, you know, show him your vision of games, why it is that you enjoy it. This all came about, and I think that you've been there for the conversations. Tashir's expressed an interest in having people that are passionate about things like Warhammer, like Warhammer 40,000, like talk to him about it. Like, what is this? Give me the rundown. Teach me about it. You know, why do you care about it? Why is it fun? What are some of the big elements of the story? Sam Lander could probably do that for not Robotech, but BattleTech. If I ever confuse BattleTech and Robotech, I am as embarrassed as you are on my behalf. Just like the message to planet Earth. I know that they are different things. I sometimes reach for one word and come up with the other. But yeah, it's BattleTech that Sam Lander really likes. Like, he could do a whole thing with Tashir, and one thing that you could do would be pen and paper role-playing games. Like what's a good one? What's one that would be easy to get into, that he could really engage with the story and the storytelling, be an active participant, and go on an adventure that would maybe last one afternoon with, at least theoretically, the possibility for more if you wanted. So a lot has happened in the game, I mean. So we're going to do another save, really right here. And I want to talk to these jackholes.
Again? I can't believe this shit. Okay, why not? Let's do the whole thing over again.
Shot and
We're
hanged.
not wasting time.
Yeah, no,
There
actually, there's
is
nothing
no
new
time.
here. At all.
Well, where have you looked? I don't know. Oh my god, there's...
Okay, so that yielded nothing. So I have 3 ability points here. There's something that I must do and something that I would very much like to do. So I'm gonna see if we can do... Oh, wash it off. There's a bathtub in your room in the Whirling in Rags. A good place to visit once you have some privacy. Well, I mean, hopefully I have a wash basin in my free room, because I'm not spending $20 on getting back into the Whirling in Rags. Yeah, we're gonna do that absolute less. Oh, we can also ask about the spilt borscht, the special borscht. I'm so glad that I checked that. All right, so this guy is prepping some special borscht for the strikers working for the Union, and I have reason to believe it's a bit suspicious.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence.
Okay, let's start with something conversational. Leo said you're friends with Manana. Is that true? This man does not speak a language that we know.
The mention of Manana gets his attention. He smiles and delivers a whole slew of unfamiliar words and lively gestures. They're friends.
Oops. Sorry, then he falls silent again, and empathy has informed me that he and Manana are friends, so that's good. Also, Grumpy is saying that for a few minutes he was Moo's hero, now he's just the guy honking his horn and following her around. Borlak is saying Dungeons & Dragons is by far the most common system, but Savage Worlds or MERP would be much easier to play. MERP is the original Middle-earth RPG for the Lord of the Rings settings. I would think that, Brian is saying, look, Angel saves his game. Yes, every once in a while I do throw that down. Mia shared this story. Yes, I was very alarmed to discover that Mia played well upwards of 20 hours of Red Dead Redemption 2 and only had the auto-save that it makes every once in a while. And I was like, okay, but like maybe at least once a session... maybe at least just once a session, open it up and do a real save and have maybe a rotating slot just in case something gets corrupt, because here's a little, like, just a very quick background story. We once came very, very close to losing Mia's only workable save game in Dead Space 2, and it would have been right at the end of the game. We were interacting with it, trying to do some troubleshooting, and I managed to take a sequence of actions that would have badly corrupted it so that the game could not be completed. So, yeah, keep rotating save slots, everybody. Don't put all your eggs in one save slot. Okay, so what's in that borscht you're making, sir?
The man says a couple of sentences in that strange language of his, and then seems to wait for you to speak. I'm pretty sure he asked you a question. He doesn't know your language. You can just say something cool in return.
All right, I want to say something cool like Mercury Rising. Run your fingers through your hair.
Borscht need more vodka?
He picks up a bottle from the shelf.
Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the men happy and in good spirits. Clever move by the Union.
Of course, vodka. Now that makes a very, very special borscht indeed. Turn it up and then ask for some yourself. Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg.
Oh, by turn it up, add more vodka. So. Oh, man. So I can have him put more vodka into the borscht, which logic says, I think correctly, could have some dangerous consequences. I could cut off the vodka, which might make the people at the strike less happy and warm and everything else. Or I can just leave the status quo. I kind of want to just leave it alone, because at least it's stable right now. I know that these are the decisions that make me A, boring cop, and B, moral internist or whatever, but, like, I don't want the strike to fall apart, and also I don't want it to turn violent, because both of those things get in my way. Borlak is asking, what would an auspicious angle look like? 90 degrees lately. I'm more of a 120 degree man. I like my angles obtuse. I like them wide open because they make for fun ramps. They make for good tents. Obtuse angles for the win. Oh my gosh. And Goofy saying, what about your Subnautica save debacle? Which it was in response to, so Angel decides to explain my Red Dead save debacle by using the example of my Dead Space save debacle. Interesting topic. Well, the Dead Space save debacle was my doing, but I want people to learn from my example. It is you run around with auto saves, and you is the universal you. Run around with single auto saves or singular save slots at your own peril. Okay. Oh, no. Okay, so Mia had forgotten about it. Yeah, maybe I'll tell the story after this conversation while we're running. I'm going to leave the cooking to him. I feel like either choice, this is a... this would, I think, put the strike in jeopardy. Yeah, I have business. I'm going to leave.
The cook gives you a long, inspecting look, then shrugs too, and seems to wait for you to speak.
Okay. But before we go, that was a... Oh, look into it. So I have to make a decision, or else I don't advance this. Okay. Well, logic says turning it up could turn it into a powder keg. I guess I'm gonna turn it down.
The man ponders his cooking you. The man says, I'm pretty sure he doesn't know your language.
Okay.
Of course, turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg.
Cut it. Yeah, cut it.
The cook gives you a long, disappointed look, then turns the stove off and seems to wait for you to speak.
All right. That's... it. I think it's been moved into done then. Nope. No. 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 It would be up at the top, wouldn't it? Oh no, maybe it's still running then. Getting the body down, we did that. Morale. Huh. Maybe it's just gone. Whatever. I got some experience points for it, and there are some things I'm not willing to do for experience points, but that's not one of them. So, since I got the body down, let me just have a quick chat with Titus here. Titus Hardy.
The Coppernado is back. What do you want?
Nothing, I don't think.
Yeah.
No, okay. It was worth an ask. So Borlak is asking, why do you have so many problems with saves? Are you saving them to a floppy disk or something? So the actual answer is Mia has sort of played many games in a row that have robust autosaves, or they don't really rely on choices, or they're not unstable enough for it to, like, some games don't even have a manual save system, they just autosave. So for a while now, Mia has been in absolutely no danger of losing progress to a botched save, or at least it hasn't come up. And it actually has come up a couple times relatively recently. This is, gosh, well over a year into her streaming career, where there's been a couple close calls.
This orange machine is dead. You slip your...
Didn't Sona give you a perfect tool for this kind of job?
Yeah, I still don't think that I can do it, but let me just look here. Tools, it's this big thing.
This orange machine is dead still.
Yep, no.
It has a hand...
Okay, so we're not going to do this yet because... So I'm going to put at least 1 point into physical instrument, I think, but we're not going to do that right now because I have a ladder that I need to climb. So here's what happened. Mia once... it was very near the end of Dead Space 2, and the end of Dead Space 2 famously gets extremely challenging in this final gauntlet of enemies that have to be gone through. And I know a couple people that reached that point and really had a very high degree of challenge with it, because like, if you haven't been conserving ammo or upgraded the right weapons in the right way, you can really have a rough go of it. So Mia was in that position, and she had a save. It was her only save, and it was basically saved with very little in the way of ammunition or resources or other ways to proceed. And it was dire. It was a really hardcore save. And wait, do I want to talk to her about the signature? I don't know. I told her not to sign it. Yeah, we'll be back for that later. I'm on my way to the Feld building. So anyway, she and I connected on Discord, and I was, like, we were interacting with that particular position in the game, and the first thing that I did to make sure that I didn't screw up with her playthrough was I had her send me the save game, and then I made a duplicate of it. I said, you know, we did a save as, we saved it into a second slot. And then from there, I was interacting with it, and I very accidentally managed to, like, go in and out of a room a couple times, so that the game started crashing, like, really crashing a lot. And I had corrupted the save. And if I had done that on her only save, the game would have been unfinishable, because it would crash the whole game out. And I can describe exactly mechanically what I did. It was me trying to, like, basically cheese the AI to let me you know, try to collect some resources by farming enemies that were respawning, and due to just a glitch in the engine, it started, like, replicating the enemies to a point where it was crashing the engine because there were too many of them. It was real bad, like, the physics were going nuts. So the lesson was, okay, always rotate through your saves, because you never know when something that's going to happen. And I would dare say that anybody that ever played an unmodded version of Skyrim or Oblivion or Morrowind, any Bethesda game, hit that at some point, right? Like, you hit the quest that was just completely glitched out and broken, you couldn't do it, because that's sort of like a Bethesda thing. It has been for a long time now. Also, Borlak was saying that I would imagine the simplest solution would be to view game saves as documents. Fixed it. My work is IT. God continues. Just double checking, because I don't view games as documents, which I save often, so it doesn't occur to me to do manual saves in games. Yeah, and I'm just letting you know, like, not only like the Elder Scrolls games, but everybody has had the experience of saving their game into some sort of, like, super dire situation where it's like, why did I do this? Why did I save it here? Or like, losing a bunch of progress because a save game just goes bad. Okay, let me see if we can interact with this, because we did put some points into Savoir Faire. And actually, before I do it, can I add points to savoir-faire any place at all? I'm not negative any points, but let me just see if let's see if there's some balance happening here that I need to care about. Okay, can I get any additional points in savoir-faire? I'm pretty sure that I can. Pretty sure I've got something in here that counts. That's negative savoir-faire, so we're definitely not doing that. This ladder is the next most important thing that I have to do, so we're going to try to do it. Nope. We're going to have to do it in the best possible way. Perception. Also, as we've seen, +1 savoir-faire. Let's do it. I have to say that I was holding on for this, where's the booze? Oh, I can evidence the, fractured bullet. Shit, let's do that first. Although, wait, I'm down a point in visual calculus. Let's do this next. Okay. We're gonna quick save it.
The rusty ladder leads to the rooftop.
83%. Also, I don't know what saw Tiago climbing. I don't remember who Tiago is, but come on.
All you need to do is close your eyes and concentrate. Darkness enfolds you. You can feel the distance between the bench and the first rung of the ladder. All you need to is...
do it.
Zoot, zap, pow, crinkle. It's like magic. You feel yourself disappear, your atoms fading out of existence.
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Bam! You find yourself on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement.
Okay, I don't think that I teleported, so I will not gloat. I will just stand there like a Samaran master.
You know, for the record, you didn't teleport there. You just climbed the ladder with your eyes closed.
The wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly, blowing away the lieutenant's voice. Faintly you hear,
Never mind. Find a way to let me in when you get inside. Don't go adventuring with a backup, especially if we think the suspect may be hiding here.
Okay, so I want to look at this. The central support beam has been destroyed by artillery fire. And I am going to throw down a save. This is actually going to be our most recent save. And I'm going to risk rotating the camera. So here's a... I really, really like the microphone that we have, but as of, like, the last stream that we did, the USB wire has started to work a little bit loose from the base. And I don't know if that's a wire problem or a port problem, but it makes it a little bit difficult to move the mic because it disconnects and then really messes up the sound. So we might be in the market for a new USB to USB mini wire to see that. So, Borlak says, my problem with saves is that I make loads of them and forget what they're all for. If I load Cyberpunk, I have multiple saves at major forks in the story with different characters, and now I have no idea what they are because you can't label them. Yeah, my big problem is that in games where you can label them, I label them with things like, doing okay, or, not so sure about this, and then I don't remember, why I saved it there in case I needed to go back. So it just causes a big mess. Like, I label them in ways that are not particularly descriptive. Moo says Serious Sam has a knack for auto-saving when a missile or something similar is heading straight and unavoidably for your head. I've seen some of those on your streams of Serious Sam, Moo. Yeah, those are rough. Borlak says your saves are great in Serious Sam, Moo. It's the reason I watch. Moo is saying, so my question is the body still hanging, or were you finally able to get it down? Moo, we got it down. Yeah, again, spoiler alert for anybody that doesn't want to know, but through a combination of savoir-faire, lucky rolls, and negotiating with the head of the union, we were able to get the big Seminese racist guy. I think that it doesn't matter, he's just racist. But we were able to coerce him into getting the body down for us. We did a whole autopsy. We found the bullet wound. It was very, very dramatic. Groomfy is saying, I leave the body of the kittens I leave the body of the kittens I murder as a warning for the other kittens. They will learn a lesson. That's one thing about cats. They're very much like crows in that way. They investigate the cause of death. And when they realize it's a Groomfie, then they realize, oh, we better not go after this guy. Groomfie says, but somehow I still have 3 kittens and they didn't learn anything. Oh, they're the dullard kittens. They didn't pick it up. Let me just take a quick look. Yay, he's no longer decomposing at the end of the rope. No, now he's decomposing on the muddy ground. But we are going to be sending him off to his full autopsy later this game day. There's something else that I want to do first, and it involves getting those boots off, because those are going to be mine. I don't know how we're going to clean them out, but maybe that blue alcohol will be the solution to that. Borlak says, I make a point of not listening to the voices in my head, Groomfie, and carry right on killing. You can't let anybody tell you what to do, I think is the important thing. Carve your own destiny, personal freedom and all that. And Moo says, damn, I missed a chunk of the game then. You did an autopsy on the muddy ground. Yes, literally lying in the rain-streaked mud amid all of the, not only amid all the rocks that Kuno had thrown, but among the dead body's own feces. That's where we did the autopsy. But we got a ton, like, this was an unambiguously, indisputably busy and successful episode of Disco Elysium. We got a lot done, and I was very, very pleased by all the progress. We learned a lot, we accomplished a lot, and now we are going to send our lot over to somebody else who's who's streaming, like, I think, Caroluna. So I'm going to do a raid to Caroluna. We don't get near enough opportunities to raid Caroluna. We got to do a raid over to Patikin yesterday, and I would like to spread the love. Caroluna is also playing SnowRunner, so anybody that came over with Moo or Groomfie, you're in for a real treat, because Caroluna is also playing SnowRunner, and I anticipate we're going to see him continuing his hard mode playthrough, which... I will always remember Groomfie very colorfully said, why would anyone do that to themselves? But yeah, on our way out, please check out Groomfie. Among very important things, thank you again to Groomfie and I Moo Do You Moo too for the huge raids. Very much appreciated. Thank you to Azaric, to Brian, to Borlak, to Sheer, and everybody else who might have come over. Centrifugal Force. But on our way out, twitch.tv/morethanamia will be picking up at 5:30 Eastern. It's about 3:15 now. So if you are going to be on Twitch, please do check out More Than a Mia starting about 5:30. And as always, we send our best wishes on to Tashir to be continuing his stream soon. And as we close out, Borlak, Pen and Paper RPG, Tashir and Friends. I think it'll be a great time. And we're going to send you on to another great time right now with Caroluna. Until next time, you guys, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.